Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's key, which is Hallelujah, a Justice Day for everybody in the world, Tom Girardi. We all know about his fraud, his schemes, his scams, all of it. He has officially been indicted on fraud charges. It's about to go down. Also, Erika Jayne has been named in the 12-count complaint. I have two articles we can one go through. One's from the Los Angeles Times, and another one is from today.com. So we are going to go through it. But before we dive in, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a key is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. Join our newsletter, get a free self-love guide, and check out our courses. So with that, let's dive right on in. Actually, candy canes, hold on for 2 seconds. I'm going to grab some tea, like some actual tea. 1 second. Okay, you guys, I am back. Thank you for waiting for me. All right, let's get into this. So, this is breaking news. This literally broke today. Okay, so this is according to the Los Angeles Times. Tom Girardi, disgraced LA lawyer and Real Housewife spouse, indicted on fraud charges. Tom Girardi, the once vaunted, I don't know what vaunted means, I guess like praised. The once vaunted Los Angeles trial attorney was indicted by a federal grand juries in 2 states on fraud charges amid allegations of swindling millions of dollars from injured and wounded clients, prosecutors announced on Wednesday, that is today. In Chicago, Girardi and his son-in-law attorney, David Lyra, and the former chief financial officer of Girardi law firm, Christopher Kamen, were charged with 8 counts of wire fraud and 4 counts of contempt of court. Now, don't forget, Christopher Kamen, he's that same CFO who was just arrested by the feds. Remember, they said that he did the $10 million wire fraud. I think it was like November 2020, right around then. This is that same guy. So he's now being indicted on more charges. And then it's also Tom Girardi's son-in-law. Let's keep going. Prosecutors said they misappropriated more than $3 million in settlement funds from the relatives of those who died in the Indonesian plane crash. In Los Angeles, Girardi was charged with wire fraud following accusations of embezzling more than $15 million from his clients and using the funds to cover his law firm's payroll and pay his personal expenses, including a hefty American Express bill. Now, I also think American Express is also being sued because I believe that there's something coming out. I think we covered it. Wasn't American Express also being sued in this because they knew about the fraud, but since they were benefiting from it, they helped to aid and abet and cover it up? I think American Express is dirty in this too. I'm pretty sure they are. All right, let's keep going. And fees at 2 country clubs. The LA case also includes charges against Kamen, the former CFO, and indicates that his boss, quote, devised, participated in, and executed a scheme to defraud victims' clients from 2010 until the firm Girardi Keese collapsed in late 2020. So basically over a decade. The prosecution marks the latest chapter in Girardi's downfall and follows extensive reporting by the Times on how Girardi eluded discipline by the state bar despite facing decades of credible accusations of misappropriating his client's money. Now, I also think that the state bar should be held accountable in this. I think they also need to be indicted and sued and thrown all the way under the jail. Them coming out with their little corny, too little, too late apology. We're sorry. We should have done better. It was our job to protect the public. You're damn right. It is your job to protect the public. You represent the people. And yet you let this man run this multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme. They need to look into the California State Bar. They had over 205, 209, well over 200 complaints against this man. And even though it says Girardi and Keith's collapsed in 2020, Tom Girardi still had his law license up until, I think it was like June of July of 2022. Of last year, this man still had his law license. So yeah, the California State Bar, they need to be investigated. They need to be investigated. Who was getting kickbacks? Who was getting payouts? Who looked the other way for money? Because there's just simply no way that they looked the other way for nothing out of the kindness of their hearts. They need to be exposed to. They need to be exposed to because they're a part of the scheme. Okay, let's keep going. Mr. Girardi and Mr. Cayman stand accused of engaging in a widespread scheme to steal from their clients and lie to them to cover up the fraud. The U.S. Attorney in LA, Martin Estrada, said in a statement, in doing so, they allegedly preyed on the very people who trusted and relied upon them the most, their clients. Actions like the ones alleged in the indictment bring disrepute upon the legal profession and will not be tolerated by my office. Side note, related but not related. I don't know if it's because of the Girardi case that's come to light, but have you noticed, like with like true crime and in the news, there's been a lot more cases of lawyers stealing from their clients coming to light. There's the whole Alec Murdaugh trial that's going on now. There was a woman, I forgot where she was, but she stole millions from her clients as well. Millions. Doing the same exact thing Tom Girardi was doing, basically. But there's a lot of people coming out now. I don't know if they're looking more into it or what. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. In doing so, that's right, actions like these disrepute and won't be tolerated by my office. That's what he said. In Chicago, U.S. Attorney John R. Lusch Jr. said of Lyra and Girardi, attorneys who violate the trust of their clients and breach a fiduciary duty that is paramount to the practice of law must be held accountable. Now, when they talk about fiduciary duty, a fiduciary duty means that that person, they are legally, waive in ethically and morally bound to act in your best interest. Like your, say you have like stocks and bonds or whatever, your stockbroker should have a fiduciary duty to act in your best interest, right? Like they're not going to sell out your stocks for some payback and leave you high and dry. Your lawyer has fiduciary duty to act in your best interest, right? Like that's what they're legally bound by. And that's what these people have clearly breached. Representatives for Girardi, Lyra, and Cayman did not immediately respond to requests for comments. Okay. The prosecution of the 83-year-old former attorney who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, sorry if I slaughtered that, by a physician in March 2021 sets the stage for a legal battle over whether Girardi is fit to stand trial. Now living in a memory care facility in Orange County, very, very cushy, by the way, Girardi is subject to a court-ordered conservatorship that gives his younger brother Robert, a dentist in Seal Beach, authority to make decisions for him about healthcare and finances. Conservatorship records indicate that Girardi has been prescribed medication for dementia and is also suffering from blindness in one eye and, quote, hearing issues. In LA legal circles, many have questioned whether the courtroom legend claimed dementia to avoid consequences of his misconduct. Side note, I'm with these, quote, LA legal circles. I agree. I don't believe for 1 second this man suffers from dementia. I don't think for 1 second this man suffers from Alzheimer's disease. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it because I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. I don't think it's a coincidence that the moment all the lawsuits came out, the moment all the subpoenas came out, the moment the stuff hit the fan and they could no longer run, hide, scheme, scam, and lie, all of a sudden he has dementia. All of a sudden he has Alzheimer's. It's actually very disrespectful and disgusting to people and families who really are suffering with this disease. It's a very debilitating disease. It's a slow yet fast disease. And it really affects everybody. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to go through as a person and as a family. And he wants to use that to get out of going to jail. But not in 2023, boo-boo, okay? Not today. But let's keep going. The first assertion that he has serious cognitive problems was through a criminal defense lawyer at a December 2020 hearing where a federal court judge was confronting him with evidence that he had stolen millions from clients. Officials from the State Bar of California even went to court to challenge the conservatorships a few weeks after the diagnosis, saying that the proceeding was occurring under, quote, highly unusual circumstances. And the evidence of the impairment was sparse. In a filing, they noted that the month before the claim of cognitive problems, Girardi had hosted a continuing education class for lawyers on complex litigation strategies. Agency's officials asked for more extensive neurological testing for the lawyer, but the request was denied. So why are you denying the request for neurological testing? Are you worried it's going to show that you're fine? Are you worried it's going to show that you don't have any problems other than having no soul and being evil and being the devil himself? Is that what you're worried about? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, let's see here, you guys. Now, there's also more information from today. So this is from today.com. Some of the information might be what we already went through, but this one has additional information. So we'll go through it together. So it says, grand jury indicts Real Housewives of Beverly Hills husband and prominent attorney accused of stealing from clients. Thomas Girardi, the estranged husband of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Erika Jayne, was named in a 12-count complaint. Thomas Girardi, blah, blah, blah. We got that. Okay. In Chicago, blah, 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 blah. Wait, hold on. Da, 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 da. All right, we got it. That was the majority of the information. Now, this is the thing. If I was Erika Jayne, I would be shaking in my freaking boots because the house of cards are about to come crashing down. Because if you think about it, now they've indicted Tom Girardi. They've arrested and indicted the CFO. They've indicted Tom Girardi's son-in-law. I think it's only a matter of time before Erika Jayne Girardi gets indicted. And I'm going to tell you why. I think that the feds want their pound of flesh when it comes to Erika Jayne. We already know that, the FDC, the feds, the FTC, all these people, they don't really like reality stars. They don't really like celebrities who thumb their nose at the law, who think that they are above it, who try to get away with it all, right? Like take Jen Shah, for example. Even though I think the judge was wrong in her ruling or his ruling, I think she should have gotten way more time than she got personally. I think 6.5 years was very lenient, in my opinion. They still like to make an example out of them. And I think that they're going to want their pound of flesh when it comes to Erika Jayne, given her behavior, during the last couple of years, still flashing the money, saying she doesn't give a damn about anybody else, saying alleged victims, saying Tom is innocent, this, that, and the third. I think that they're going to want their pound of flesh. And now that they are arresting and indicting a lot of people, they might be willing to make a little bit of deals here and there of people who have information against her. Because I think they want to indict her. I think they want to take her down. I really, really do. As they should, because it's freaking clear as day that she also participated in and benefited from the fraud scheme. So she should be indicted. She should be brought in, 100%. If I was Erika, I would be very, very scared. I also think they want their pound of flesh because they looked crazy and they look really, really whack when Tom Girardi's alleged love child, that guy Donald Alway, who was, a big top guy, he was an FBI official living in Mississippi, all of a sudden transferred to Los Angeles, and all of a sudden he was one of the top FBI officials overseeing the Tom Girardi case. Sorry. It made them look really bad. And if there's one thing the FBI, if there's one thing the federal government doesn't like, is when you thumb the nose at the law or when you embarrass them and make them look stupid. They don't like that. And Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi, that's exactly what they have done. They've thumbed their nose at the law and they've made them look bad and they made them look stupid. I think that this is really the beginning of the end for her. I think she's going to be indicted. I think she's going to be implicated. I mean, the fact that they went through it with Tom, even though he's 83 and claiming dementia and Alzheimer, they still continue to indict him. Erika Jayne is what? She's in her 50s? If she stops taking those Ozempic shots, she could live for a long time. 50's young these days. That's a lot of life ahead. In jail, girl. In jail. All right, but I want to know what you guys think. So stick around, my beautiful candy canes, because I'm going to take your candy cane questions and comments, and we are going to get into it. But for everybody who will be catching this on the replay, let me know what you think. Put it down below. Do you think that this is truly the beginning of the end for Erika? Because up until this point, Tom Girardi was living his best life over there in Orange County with the senior citizens, acting like he had a memory problem. But this indictment changes the game. And it's like I said before, they always start with the smaller fish to get the bigger fish. When I knew this situation was going to take that turn was when they arrested Christopher Kamen. Christopher Kamen was the CFO, the chief financial officer. When they arrested him on that one wire fraud count for $10 million, I was like, all right, they really about to do the damn thing. Because they always arrest the right-hand man. They always arrest that person right below you, but wasn't the boss. And then they arrest them, they get them to flip, and they give them a deal. And that's when they get all the dirt. That's when they get where the bones are buried. Look at Jen Shaw if you think I'm lying. When Stewart flipped on her, it was over for her. It was over. That's why she was like, this is Stewart's fault, blah, 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 blah. When he flipped, it was over. And a lot of times and look at Teresa and Joe Giudice. I think somebody probably snitched on them. I don't know too much about their stuff other than the fact that they're both frauds and stole from the government and the taxpayers. But they probably got snitched on or something like that. Look what happened to Mike the Situation. I never watched Jersey Shore. That was before my time. I wasn't really into that. But he went to federal prison for tax evasion because somebody snitched on him. And that's what they need. They need a snitch. Either somebody who is just jealous that you're getting away with a fraud and you have all this money and they snitch on you, or they get somebody on your team and arrest them or threaten to arrest them, they get them to flip. That's when I knew this situation was about to really go down. Because the CFO, Tom Girardi's right-hand man, he knows who was involved. He knows how long it was going on. He knows what was going on. He knows how the sausage was made. He's going to know who participated in it, who benefited from it, who knew about it, who turned a blind eye, who got a payout. He's going to know all of that. And when they arrested him, I was like, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. And isn't it funny that now after his arrest, a couple months later, Tom is what? Indicted? I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. But before we do that, stick around, Candy Canes. I'm going to go over your Candy Cane questions and comments. But before we do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. Join our newsletter, get a free self-love guide, and check out our courses. So with that, let's take some of your Candy Cane questions and comments. So Foxy says, yes, finally some justice for the true victims. I agree. Foxy says, hopefully, yes. Hey, Tobias, oh my gosh, this is what I need. Exactly. Foxy says, yes, it's good news for the victims. I hope. Me too. Foxy says, I wonder if Erika could come back on the show now. I think she can come back on the show because as we see with rhobh, literally, unless you are found in the court of law guilty or out of your mouth, say you're guilty to the judge, they're willing to have you on the shows. They put New Jersey on pause while Teresa served out her sentence. So I'm sure she's able to come back on the show unless she is like physically in jail. And think about it. Even with Jen Shah, pleaded guilty, found guilty, and sentenced, and they still wanted to do a sit down with her with Andy Cohen. And they wanted her at the reunion. Jen Shah was the one who said, no, I'm not going to do the reunion or the sit down with Andy. It wasn't Bravo being like, you're about to go to jail for fraud. We don't want anything to do with you. They actually wanted her. But Jen Shah thought she was going to do a money grab and do her website. Oh, pay this fee, give us your email address, and you'll get the real Jen Shah story. She wanted nothing but a money grab. That's why she didn't go to the reunion, and that's why she didn't do the sit down with Andy. I think she thought, why give the money to Bravo, making money from the ratings and the views when I can make the money myself? Always, once a schemer, always a schemer, still a fraudster. And then Robin Dixon over in Potomac was like, you know what? I want a money grab too. I've been lying through my teeth this entire season. Just join my Patreon to get the truth, guys. Nothing but a schemer. Hey, Juanita. She goes, Candy Canes. What's up, sweetheart? Hey, Baca says, hey, welcome back. Yes. Hey, Foxy and Erika said he was innocent. Girl, maybe this is why Erika lost all that weight. Stress. Girl. Hey, Vaca, sipping tea while sipping tea. Yes. Yes. Hey, Sierra Content says, Candy. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up. As always, there is zero pressure. Nobody has to come up, but I've dropped it in case you want to. Vaca says, so it looks like some other bloggers don't want to talk about this. I mean, are they paid by Girardi? Are they paid by Erika? I'm going to leave my opinion to myself and just focus on, doing me and giving you guys the tea. Hey, Juanita, is Tom going to prison? That's the $1 million question. That is the $1 million question. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell. Hey, Tobias. Hey, Jacob.
Oh my God.
Right.
I'm very shocked because honestly, I didn't think that this would happen because my thought process was too many public officials' books will have to be opened up and reveal payments from Tom. That's what I thought because we know Tom has paid off lots of people. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, a federal lawsuit would require the opening of his books.
Yep.
And what will be revealed when we open his books? That was my thought process. And I said, too many important people's payoffs will be revealed. I'm very shocked at this.
See, okay, I think you bring up a good point. I agree with you. I was like, wait a minute. I was more on the fence of, is Erika and Tom going to be able to have an unbiased trial or investigation in California, exactly like you said, because all of these very powerful people, judges, executives, politicians, blah, 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 have been paid off, that they're going to have extra favor because nobody's going to want to go against them because they're not going to want their secrets exposed. So
right.
I agree with that. But I tell you this, I think a couple of things. I think because collectively as a world, as not to get too in the weeds, but I just really truly believe that collectively as a world, as a consciousness, we really are shifting from that system of good old boy system, fraud system, Me Too, BLM, all of that stuff. We were just really, really shifting away from giving the evilness cover. And I think that, and it's going to sound weird, but I think that the federal government, the FBI, all of them literally had no idea of the depth and the scope of what Tom Girardi was doing. Because a lot of people in those positions, they kind of think, oh, he's just, this white old lawyer who's made all this money, Aaron Brockovich's movie, he's this great guy, he's got all these accolades, why would Tom Girardi defraud anybody? Why would Tom Girardi do anything wrong? Blah, 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 blah. But when everything came out, they're like, whoa, we really need to look at this and we really need to correct it. So I think a couple of things. I think one, they're probably still going to protect certain people. They will probably get anonymity. They will probably also get immunity if they cooperate. I also think that, to me, I knew it was going down when they arrested the chief financial officer, Christopher. When they arrested him, I was like, you know what? Nobody is safe. They're about to do the damn thing. And I called it. I freaking called it. I was like, heads are about to roll. And I said, Erika better be very, very scared. And then once they arrested him, the next thing that happened was Donald Alway, the FBI official who's allegedly Tom's love child. When he actually recused himself, shout out to the Los Angeles Times for breaking that story, I was like, yep, it's really about to go down because they're no longer giving him any type of cover or protection. And I think a lot of heads are about to roll, more than just Erika's.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that they would wait till Tom died and then go after Erika. Truly, that's what I thought, to save themselves. But none of his story has ever made sense, obviously. Like what you were saying earlier, the dementia. First of all, did you ever look into that psychiatrist that gave him the diagnosis?
No, I never looked into him, but trust me, I know you can basically buy a doctor. You can buy a freaking, expert opinion on anything.
And this psychiatrist, I looked him up. How come? It's so obvious. His office is in Long Beach. Tom, you live in Pasadena. Why are you driving from Pasadena to Long Beach unless you're getting something really good? Like you don't do that. I thought you were rich. I'm like,
exactly. Exactly.
And
no, go ahead.
I don't know. And I'm just like, wow, I know I'm not the only person thinking this. There are people who are much smarter than me thinking this, right? But I'm shocked, but I'm very pleased. And honestly, 15 million? Where's the rest when it comes to the lawsuits? Are more charges coming?
More charges are coming. Again, I think even though this has been so much, I still think we're just at the tip of the iceberg. And also don't forget, he's now dealing with federal charges. He's not dealing with state charges. So he was able to do the dirt in California. That's why it was a California state bar. But there are different rules and regulations and different people in power when it comes to the federal level. Think about it's about tax season, right? You have your state taxes and you have your federal taxes. Federal is for the country. The state is for the state. So that's why I think they're really coming for him, because I think that they're ready to expose people at the state level in the state of California who are corrupt.
Right. Yeah, that actually perfect.
That's why I think they're really going for him. Yeah, because it's he's on federal charges and it's the FBI.
This is really bad. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's not the LAPD. You know what I mean? Like, it's the feds. Right. So that's another reason why heads are going to roll, because it's the federal government he's messing with, not this little state of California BS he's been, scheming and scamming for the last 2 decades.
Wow. That's bad. I hope we see, you know what? I hope not only do we see him go away and Erika, but I need to see some of those city officials in LA go away for this as well. Like, we need to see that.
I think that's going to happen. I think the feds are ready to crack down.
I hope so, because we need some faith back in these systems. I mean,
yeah, because I think they're going to crack down. I think the feds are ready to crack down on California. Honestly, if I was anybody that was a politician, an executive, a judge, a lawyer, anybody that was in the fraudulent scheme with Tom Girardi, whether you did it because you were afraid of him or whether you did it because he was paying you, at the end of the day, you still did it. I would be very, very worried, because I think the feds are coming for everybody, because the federal government doesn't care about the state. Federal law supersedes the state. And another reason why the feds are able to get him is because it's in 2 states. He's been indicted in Chicago, Illinois, and he's been indicted in California, which makes it a federal case because it's interstate. And the feds supersedes the state law.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for Erika to go to jail. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
It's coming back? I mean, I guess, right?
I mean, I think they want their pound of flesh when it comes to Erika. I think they don't want to have egg on their face if Erika skates on this. And she's been too publicly disrespectful to the law, too publicly disrespectful to the victims.
Yes.
And they don't like that. They like it when you come and you have humility. And she's had the opposite of that.
It's so crazy. I'm sure her legal team is like, please don't go back on that show. I'm sure. Is she gonna listen? No.
No, of course not.
Now, but what is going on with that Bank of America, Maryland? What is going on with that? Because remember how they posed as this man's widow and father? You remember that, right?
I 100% remember that. But the thing with that is it was only like one press release that was released detailing that. And no one's been able to find like court filings, and there hasn't been any type of like follow-up. So I don't know how legit that was or wasn't. But I personally don't trust Bank of America or American Express or any of these people dealing with these people. But I don't know how legit that was, because it was like a press release on like law.com or something. And nothing else has come out because of that. So we'll see.
Oh my, what a mess.
Yeah. I mean, if that's not true, it doesn't matter. Because the thing is, everybody that they talked about in that press release are now being sued. Erika has her own other lawsuits, tied to this, the $2.27 million tax one, $25 million one, because the money that they got into her LLC, she still has that lawsuit and other ones. And then they also named Mauricio in that lawsuit. And as we know, Mauricio is going to court because he's being sued by multiple people for defrauding his clients and other brokers and stuff. Girl, listen, This is the thing. If I was Erika Jayne Girardi, I would pretend I'm going back on the show but I would dye my hair black. I would have my little to-go bag. I would get multiple passports, and I would be researching, countries that do not extradite to America, and I would be out. I would call my little homegirl, Dirty Diana, be like, "Hey, you're evil. You don't have a soul.
Yeah.
Help me."
Yeah. Erika's gonna come back, and I think she's gonna be the super villain this season. At this point, she has nothing to lose. She is exposing everyone's lawsuit this season.
Yep.
She is gonna bring out Dorit and PK's mess, Kyle and Maurice. Because what does she have to lose? This could be her last season, her second to last season, for all we know.
Yep.
Oh, Erika.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Erika.
I can't wait. And I think Bravo is sticking around because I bet you they want to tape it.
Oh, they can't wait.
They can't wait.
There are producers jumping for joy right now. Are you kidding me? They are cheersing. They are pouring champagne. They are excited. They can't wait. They're supposed to start filming like in a week and a half or so, apparently.
Yeah. But have they even announced the actual full cast?
They don't announce that till it's about to air. I mean, it's they're real with all that. But those producers, they are, I'm sure their phones are ringing off the hook.
Yep.
And reservations at such and such place. Please. Excited. I'm sure Andy's excited right now. He's like, yes.
He's like, yes. He's like peeing in his pants. He's like, another one's about to bite the dust. Let's just get it on the show. I want to do my sit down with Erika Jayne. Shut up, Andy.
Yeah. I'm sure he's, a mess. Wow, all right. Well, you know what, Candy? Thank you for having me. I'm about to hop off. Okay.
Yes. It's always a pleasure, Jacob. Anytime. You're always welcome.
All right. Thank you, Candy. See you soon.
All righty. So Carla Hart says, Erika is traveling around the world on the backs of the victims. You know your man and what they are capable of, period. Every man I have dated, I knew that they were into no surprises. Exactly. And remember, Erika people always tell themselves, remember Erika said she could basically at this point be a lawyer herself? And when she was first with Tom, she would just sit with him at the office. Girl, bye. She knew what was going on. Hey, Lord Karma says, so is Tom going down? It looks like it. He's been indicted. Lord Karma says, Zach P needs to wake up. He's been sipping on his alcoholic Kool-Aid too much. Oh, no. Hey, Foxy, this means that Tom is losing his protection from people in high places. Yeah, because I think he had his claws, obviously, in Los Angeles and, like, California, really, and Chicago, but not at the federal level. And that's where he's really going down. Hey, Mademoiselle, Ronald said on Real Andy that some things were going to come out. It just takes time. Exactly. Hey, Gloria, I just want to know if they're going to throw his wrinkled A in jail where he's belong and his wife 100. I hope so. He's living a very cushy life right now. You know, there are so many people who actually are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia or some type of ailment in their, older years, who don't have the luxury or the money to go to, Orange County Memory Care Center. He's still being treated, and pampered and all of this stuff on the backs of victims' money. It's ridiculous. Hey, Foxy, Tom got that diagnosis real quick. Exactly when the news about him scamming people came out. Yup. Hey, Faye. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, sweetheart. And Erika started talking about his dementia on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yup, it was all for show. Hey, Foxy, Tom was scamming people for many, many years. He did not have dementia way back in time either. It's BS. Agreed. Hey, Dolly, Tom is besties with Gavin Newsom. Gavin is dirty, and nothing and no one can touch him. Ooh. Hey, Lord Karma, Erika is Roxy Hart, LOL. Very good point. Hey, Foxy, let's see if they'll be talking about this on the next season. I mean, they better be. They have to be. Sutton, I'm looking at you. Garcelle, I'm looking at you. Crystal, I'm looking at you. Vio Kyle, I'm looking at you. You guys better talk about this and hold Erika accountable. But I also agree that I think next season, Erika is going to be the ultimate villain because she's not going to have Lisa Rinna. So she's going to be spiraling out of control and she has nothing to lose. I think she's going to bring up Ding Dong Dorit and PK's fraud schemes. I think she's going to bring up Mauricio Marine Umansky and Bio Kyle's fraud schemes. I don't think Garcelle has anything in the closet. I don't think Sutton has anything in the closet. Crystal did say she worked in an escort service, so maybe there's something there. I don't know. But I think she's going to come in blazing and is going to be like the ultimate villain. I agree with what Jacob said. Hey, Dolly, Andy protects criminals. Erika will skate on nothing but will fall on her face. Yeah, they're coming for you, Erika. They're coming from you. They are coming for you. Hey, Juanita says dirty Erika. Yep. Hey, Lord Karma. Watch if Erika is involved. She will leave the show. You think she'll leave the show? See, I don't think Erika will leave the show. I think the only way Erika would actually leave the show is if she is arrested and legally cannot film, or if she's like in jail or something. But I don't see Erika voluntarily leaving the show. I just don't see it. And not even because she needs the money, because let's be real. We all know that Tom and Erika have a lot of money squirreled away, their little contingency plan. I think Erika has access to a lot of money. She doesn't look to me like a woman who has nothing. She's in Paris Fashion Week. You know, she has all of the clothes, all of the furs, all of the designer jewelry, all of the handbags, Range Rovers and cars, living in a multi-million-dollar house in Southern California. I think she lives like in West Hollywood, adjacent to Beverly Hills. Girl, bye. She is not living like a person who doesn't have any means. She's living like a person who has a lot of money, to be honest. You know, look at the world. There's a lot of working people who get up every single day and go to work. Come on now. Come on. Foxy says, Foxy, I'll be watching. Foxy says, Roxy Hart goes to prison, LOL. Dolly says, what if Erika turns on Tom and agrees to testify against him? This is the thing. I think even if she agrees to testify against him, I don't think that they would ever give her immunity, because at this point, I bet you they have enough to get her. So they might give her a deal, some sort of plea deal to turn on him, but I don't think that they would ever give Erika immunity. Not at this point. Not after how she's behaved for the last 2 years and everything that's come out. Hey, Foxy says, me too, bye. Hey, Lord Karma, she would look like a member of the Addams family then. Oof. I know, because she's so thin now. Gross. Hey, Foxy, if Erika does that, she'll get less time, I think. Yeah, she'll get less time, but I don't think that they're going to give her immunity. And so immunity is when you testify or you give evidence and they cannot prosecute you, versus a deal where you give evidence and you testify and you have like a reduced sentence, right? You're not going to get as much. They'll give you a deal. I think they'll give her a deal, but I don't think they're going to give her immunity. Dolly says, why can't the courts take back the $5 million that was given to Rinna? Well, this is the thing. There's one thing for us to say that Erika gave $5 million to Rinna, and it's another for us to have concrete proof and, you know, bank statements, bank accounts, all of that stuff. So who knows? Maybe they will. You know, we don't know yet. But it's always the difference between what you know and what you can prove. And maybe at this point, that $5 million is like a drop in the bucket and they're focusing on like the bigger fish to fry. I don't know. TMW says she's charged. No, he was indicted on fraud charges. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Hey, M says Erika Jayne is a messy cow sociopath. I agree. She's 100% a sociopath. I think she's a malignant narcissist and she's sociopathic. That's why she gets along so well with like Lisa Rinna and Tom Girardi. They attracted each other. Fox says, I bet Rinna is happy as a clown now. Yeah, I agree. I've called this. I think that Lisa Rinna and Erika Jayne's friendship is going to crumble. Crumble. Definitely when Erika starts filming, and Lisa Rinna really feels that pain that she's been fired, that she's not getting the check, that she's not getting that 15 minutes of fame. When Erika has been just as dirty as she has, I mean, Rinna has been dirty too, but we got some real victims here. I think their friendship is really going to suffer. 100%. Dolly says, please confiscate the $5 million from Rinna. That was stolen money. I agree. Hey, TMW, I wonder if she will still be on Housewives now. Yeah, she will be. She will be. Because they're going to want to catch that if she gets arrested or if she has to go to trial. They're going to want to catch it on camera. Vi says, at Dolly Madison, no plot twist. Dolly says, Erika invested $5 million in Rinna Beauty. Yep. I agree. So Sierra says, wait, Candy, where was Erika named on the 12 counts of fraud? Oh, I think my title might have a typo in it. I meant lawyer Tom Girardi indicted and named on fraud charges. Sorry, you guys. I'll update that. But Tom Girardi was the one who was named on the 12-count complaint. It says Thomas Girardi, the estranged husband of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Erika Jayne, was named in a 12-count complaint. Okay. Thank you for calling that out, Sierra. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to update the title. But I think that the fact that he has now been named on the 12 counts, girl, it's only a matter of time. Lord Karma says that part. Hey, Debbie, the details of the Erika White fraud scam could still be under investigation, and the details are all under wraps while putting the case against all involved together. No heads up on this one. True. Very true. They could be keeping a lot of stuff close to the vest. Hey, Sierra, I need to use the info to drag these Erika fans. Yes. They're ridiculous. They are ridiculous. Haley Light says, hi, Candy. Finally, great news. LA Times. Yes. So where you can find a different information, LA Times, today, it was also on Bloomberg. If you just Google, Tom Girardi, it's all popping up. But the Los Angeles Times has said it. Today has said it. Bloomberg has said it. It's out there. Yes, that's right, Sarah. Drag them. Hey, Dolly, Erika can never be a lawyer, just like Kim K lied about being in law school. My butt. Oop. Hey, Dolly, Tom is more guilty than Erika, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's hard to judge more or less guilt in this kind of situation because in certain states, under certain laws, if two people are going to rob a bank and I sit in the getaway car and the person that I'm in cahoots with goes into the bank and shoots someone and that person dies, I would still be accountable for that person's death. They wouldn't say, oh, the person who actually pulled the trigger is more guilty or not. There is like different types of like conspiracy laws. So I get what you're saying because he was like the mastermind of it and he was really the hub of it, but she needs to be held accountable too. Holly Won't says, I remember this scene. Stoneface Erika said, no waterproof mascara today. My attorney suggested I cry on camera. Exactly. Hey, DGF says, finally. Fiara says, drag him all the way around the world. Yes, Sierra, you better drag him. You better drag them. Hey, Debbie says, hey, Erika, welcome home from an expensive time at Fashion Week. Exactly. She was out here at Fashion Week, just dipping it and doing it, being all types of ridiculous. Totally crazy. Okay. That's right, you guys. Get those likes up. Holly Won't says, Tom rolled his car 16 times during a blizzard in LA and ended up in the backyard. Ridiculous. Candy K says, finally indicting Girardi. That only took forever. Yeah, and again, I think it's because it's so deep and so insidious and connected to so many people that it probably did take them time to sort of like unpack everything and unwind everything. You know what I mean? Lord Karma says it's like a soap drama. Yep. Fox says Erika should be thankful for this mess. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on the show anymore because she is too darn boring. I agree. Hey, Celine, dropping some candy canes. Hey, Lord Karma. Erika needs to be smart and stay silent. I wouldn't go against Tom. God knows who he knows. I mean, at this point, it seems like Tom doesn't have any more friends. You know, the fact that he's indicted is huge. The fact that he was even indicted is huge. You know, there was a possibility that they were like, you know what, he's 83, he's claiming dementia, let him just, you know, live out his golden years. The fact that he's indicted is huge. Foxy says, Rena is so jealous that Erika is still on the show. 100%. Deb says the federal judge stated that Tom has not been found incompetent in a court of law. The court will probably have him evaluated. Exactly. Yes, Deb. Yes, Tom is still funding Erika. 100%. 100%. Barbara says the FBI keeps everything on the down low until they come for you. There is no heads up. Exactly. Very good point. Faye says, or Faye, so sorry. What if Lisa Rinna turns state's evidence? Listen, Lisa Rinna is a rat. She lives with rats. She is a rat. I wouldn't trust Lisa Rinna as far as I can throw her, especially now that she's been fired. She's probably especially bitter, especially, you know, on, you know, down and out and grimy. Hey, Deb, David Lyra will plead guilty and snitch on Tom and Erika. Exactly. That's what I was saying. What they do is they get people who are below, they arrest them. Sorry. They arrest them, they indict them, and then they offer them a deal in order to flip. That's why I said this before, that's why when they arrested that Christopher Kamen, that CFO, I was like, it's going down. It's going down. Erika, hey, it's Heaven. It's Haven. Erika was always so arrogant. Can't feel bad for her. Karma. Oh no, I don't feel bad for her. She needs to go all the way to jail, all the way down, all the way down. Deb says, yes, the trustee is suing Amex. Exactly. Because they're all in on it. That's the sickest part. They're all in on it. Barbara says, at Deb, they're coming for Tom. Yes. Deb says, yes, but David will tell all he knows. He has no desire to protect her. I agree. 100%. Deb says she may be indicted down the road. I think it's only a matter of time. It is literally only a matter of time before she gets indicted too. 100%. Dolly says, yes, Deb. Yep. Hey, Barbara, I wonder if the women in the cast are going to question Erika or are they afraid? I think they're going to question her because at this point, it would be very corny. It would be so corny as hell if they're like, we're so afraid of Erika. We can't question her. Like, get over it. Like, that was 2 seasons ago. You guys got to get over it. If you're going to keep your diamond, you need to show up and clock in. So I really, really hope not, because that would just be really boring and bad. Barbara says the FBI will have him examined by the doctor. They have plenty of nice little medical units in prison. That part. Barbara's laughing. B. Stewart says, woohoo. Deb says, afraid mostly like she's a bully, but not Kathy. Exactly. And I think the fact that Rinna got fired is really going to embolden the other women to stand up for what's good and for what's right. You know, because I think that sent a very clear message to the ladies. Hey, Barbara said, Deb, Kathy might not come back. Kathy better come back. She's going to come back. Hey, it's Heaven says that, Barbara. I know, right? LA Stone Gal says, I was just on Jack's channel and I said I was your groupie. Aw, thank you, LA Stone. You're so sweet, sweetheart. Thank you, LA Stone. Hey, Foxy says, I hope Erika's smug face will disappear on next season. I low-key want to see her this season now. Is that bad? But I feel like, you know why? It's because I want to be able to see the lies. I want to be able to see, I want resolution at this point. Like I'm like the FBI right now. I'm like the feds. I want my pound of flesh when it comes to Erika Girardi. I want to see the girls stick it to her. I want to see her squirm. I want to see her in these situations and what she's going to do. Like I want to see the demise of Erika Jayne. Maybe that's bad. I know. But like, I want to see her taken down. So they better take her down. they better take her down. I want to see it at this point. It's like they shoved it down our throats. They kept her on the show, knowing all this was going on for the last two years at this point, almost 3. Right now we're in 2023. They've shoved Erika Jayne down our throats. They kept her on the show for all these years. At this point, I need a reckoning. Like, I need something from Erika. Like, I need to see her go down. Maybe I need to relax, but like, I do. Deb says he might be on her payroll. Oop. Oop, oop, oop. Hey, Aaron D says, hi, everyone. Oh, wait. Did I miss some, wait a minute. I think I missed some comments. Wait, hold on. Oh, Foxy's, Barbara's laughing at Foxy. Foxy says, good yet, LA Songgal. Does Zach defend Erika as usual? LOL. Foxy says, at Barbara's laughing. LA Songgal says, on Zach's channels, all love Erika. Foxy says, Zach is Erika's biggest stan in the world. LOL. LA Songgal says, Foxy, WTF. Giving some love. Hey, Aaron. Heron says, hi, everyone. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Ah, that's right. And then Deb says he might be on her payroll. Hey, listen. I'll let the candy cane speak. I will let the candy cane speak. Own it. Fox says, at Barbara. Yes, exactly. Yep, you guys are laughing. Hey, Aaron D. Hey, LA Stonegirl. Great to see you again. Barbara says, no, I want to see Erika get dragged from one part of California to the next. Right? I'm with you, Barbara. Like, at this point, I need to see her go down. I need my popcorn. I need some tea. I need a front row seat. And I also, and maybe this is just selfish of me, I want to be able to drag her on my channel. And the only way to do that is if she stays on the show and stays in the public eye. And every time she lies, I'm going to call her to the carpet. Every time she has some BS going on, I'm going to call her to the carpet. Every time she's fake breaking in, I'm going to call her to the carpet. At this point, we have to get the fun when it comes to this psychotic, sociopathic, fraudulent schemers and scammers where we can get it in. Because if you don't have that fun kiki, if you don't do the fun shade and drag, the actual realness of it is way too heavy. Because when you really sit back and think about it, this is very sad and disturbing and very, very evil. There are so many victims and so many family members and loved ones of the victims that literally got scammed and played, who needed it for food money, rent money, clothes money, medical bills. And these people squandered their money for decades. And for what? Ugly artwork, ugly designer clothes, a couple of cars and houses? Like, was that really worth it to you when these people were struggling? So when you really think about it, it weighs on your heart. It weighs on your spirit what these people really, really did. It's really sad and sick when you really think about it. It's really sad and sick. Hey, Foxy, he's definitely on her payroll. She gives him info to use against the other women on the show. Oop. LA Stone Gal says, Zach in love with Erika. BS. You got what? You guys are going through it right now. Barbara F. Fox says, true, I don't like Z. Deb says, the judge in the federal court he's charged in says he has not been found incompetent in a court of law. That's right. So he's going to have to stand trial. Ellison says, hey, Erika. Hey, Strawberries and Candy. Remember when Andy asked Newsom about Tom and Newsom looked shook? If they open them up finances, a lot of people are going to go down. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's been documented that Tom Girardi was a really big, Gavin Newsom supporter. Yeah. Foxy says, I can't stand that dude. He must be in love with Mikey or something. Deb says he must be because he's risking his professional reputation and credibility being her stan. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Debbie. Debbie says, the possible demise of Erika is why I started watching again. Unfortunately, it seems to be taking too long. In this, I had a great find. You, Candy. Aw, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Aw, it's really sweet. Foxy says, right, Barbara? Yeah, we can all come together. And, we gotta... Sometimes when things are so dark, you just gotta find the laugh in it. You gotta find the humor. You gotta find a way to see some some type of lightness, you know? Because it's really sad. It's heartbreaking. HT says, totally agree, Candy, with the feds don't like egg on their face. She sling it in their face, 100%. That's something you don't do. You don't embarrass the feds. You don't. You don't throw eggs on the FBI. You don't. And the way Tom Girardi and his love child, allegedly, and Erika Jayne have been moving, it's been embarrassing. Hey, Deb, the wheels of justice turn slowly. Yes. Barbara says, Foxy, me too. I can't stand that dude. He looks like a snake. Oh my gosh, you guys are going in. Zolma says, yes, Jack is the friend of Erika, Lisa, Brandy, Kyle. I said what I said in Candy's voice. I said what I said. Yes, Zolma. Hey, Strawberries and Candy. Zach is real quiet right now. There goes his payout. Oh, you guys. Oh my goodness. LA Stone Gal says, on Jack's channel, but I asked about what Erika's bank in Florida. He said no money was just her money. Oh, I don't believe that. That was a huge contingency plan. And that was definitely the victim's money being funneled to Erika in that Wells Fargo, Florida account. Foxy says, at Bravo, you told nothing but the truth. Barbara says, I know. I feel horrible for the victims. It brings tears to my eyes. Same. Deb says, no, it was money funneled through James Wilkie's law firm. Right, exactly. It was but it was, what do you call it? But the money came from Tom. The money came from Tom. You know what I mean? James was his friend. He was doing him a solid. It was the contingency plan. I don't think it was James' money. I think Tom gave James the money to funnel it to Erika. It was their contingency plan. I bet you they have multiple accounts like that. Deb says, Tom's good buddy. Exactly. Exactly. Barbara says, yes, I always do. LA Stone Gal says, I'm so mad at Erika. The victim's not her Broadway show. Yep. Hey, Natoski, isn't his lawyer a former lawyer in his law firm? Tom's lawyer, probably, because he probably doesn't want to be exposed either. You know what I mean? A lot of them were in cahoots. Fox says, you do, Barbara. Foxy says, you do too. Hey, it's him and terrible music from Erika. Ugh. That's another thing. You know what I mean? Like when you are the Ashers, and I'm talking about, you know, Diana's love boy toy. When you are the Ashers and the Erika Jayne Girardis of the world, when you literally have, and I mean literally have, every single thing at your disposal to do anything you want in this world, and you still suck, and you still can't succeed, literally blows my mind. Literally blows my mind. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about your basic needs, food, clothing, any of that stuff. Not only do you not have to worry about money, but you have unlimited money to fund your dream, and you still suck. I can't. Strawberries and Candy says, I wonder if Teddy the Gnat will say something. Oh, Teddy the Gnat. Oh, Teddy the Gnat. Who knows? Whatever she says, it'll be Kyle approved. Hey, Natoski, that damn non-waterproof mascara stain still grinds my gears. Yeah, how staged? How staged? Deb says the trustee made it a point to say in her response to Erika in the bank suit that Erika had violated the law. Yep. They're not playing. Erika, girl, I'm telling you, if I was Erika, thank you God I'm not. If I was Erika, I wouldn't be playing on no Bravo show. I'd be gassing up the jet, out the country, bye-bye. You want a heads up from the feds? This was your heads up that Tom Girardi was indicted. Barbara saying, Foxy. Deb says, getting it on record. Exactly. Hey, Foxy, that's BS. It was the victim's money. 100%. 100% it was the victim's money. Zoma says, no, that was Nini's voice. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Zoma. Oh, that's right. I said what I said. Yeah, that was Nini's voice. Natoski says it's literally the victim's money. Exactly. LA Stonegal, what about the $5 million to Rena? Yeah, that's the thing. You know, maybe that's in there somewhere. You know, they move slowly, or not even necessarily slowly, but they move in silence. So when they're ready to pop, they're going to be ready to pop. Hey, Candy K says E's designer clothes are hideous. They're gross. Money can't buy you class, and money can't buy you style either. You know, 100%. Hey, Barbara says, I believe Erika has money and jewelry hidden. Yep, she has money, jewelry, art. Art is very, very expensive. I think that they were hiding the money in plain sight. I bet you there's a lot of offshore accounts, And I also think there's a lot of contingency accounts, like the one that they have with Jim Wilkie's law firm. It's still the victim's money. It's still coming from Tom, but they're funneling it through these other accounts and other people, trying to not have, quote, like a paper trail. But none of us are stupid and dumb. We, like, hello, you know what I mean? I wonder what's going to happen with the money she gave to Lisa Rinna. Deb says the court will order Tom to be evaluated to determine competency. Yep, 100%. Fox says she definitely got that Barbara Romero and expensive art and bags and designer clothes too. Yep. LA Stone Gal says, I bet Rinna and Erika will take care of each other with the help from Diana. I mean, that's more blood money. The saddest part and the sickest part, it's all blood money. Barbara says, Foxy, yes, that $1 million painting Tom gave Erika for her birthday, 100%. Deb says, yes, where did the painting go? Exactly. And don't forget, Erika pulled Kyle and a Dorit with a fake break-in. Remember when they were about to seize the house in Pasadena? And wasn't it super convenient that right before they seized the house, it was conveniently broken into? Remember when she had that stupid story about Tom having a black eye and how her son was the only one who helped him and the house was broken into? It was like some stupid story that made zero sense. Basically, what I think happened is that they went in, they did a sweep of the house, they took what they could take, it was a big grab, what they could take, and then they lied and said the house was broken into, so they did not have to take into account of where all the stuff went. Another scheme, another fraud. Barbara says, if I was Erika, I would be long gone by now. Me too. Me too. The only thing that would make me happier is to see dirty Diana Jenkins indicted on charges. When are her charges coming? When are her charges coming? That's what I really want to see. Fox says, exactly, Barbara. It's worth a lot of money, and he gave her several paintings too. Yeah, they hide money in plain sight. They hide money in real estate. They hide it in paintings. They hide it in, like the earrings, for example. Oh, these are appraised at $1.3 million earrings. They hide it in, very like high-priced jewelry. It's crazy. Baka says, so will they put away for good now like Jen Shah? I hope so. He's either going to plead out or go to trial. He's going to plead out or go to trial, one of the two, but he's been indicted. Gossip News says, wait, so Tom is totally going to die now. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, no. I still don't want to wish death on anybody, even though he's evil as hell. I personally still don't want to wish death on anybody. Gossip News. Barbara says, at Foxy, I believe that stuff is hidden 100%. Deb says, Day Lyra will plead guilty and testify against Tom and probably implicate Erika. Exactly. Deb, you and I right now, eye to eye. I agree 100%. 100%. Hey, LA Stone Gal, I'm getting off that Zach Idiot's channel. Oh, no. LA Stone. Hey, Barbara says, the FBI will track down every penny. Yes, they will. Hey, Reality Tea with Krista. I'm so sick of hearing she hasn't been charged, so she didn't do anything. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. Exactly. And also, I think just time will tell. I think they're going to get Erika. I think she will be indicted. I really do. And that's a very good point. It's always about not necessarily what you know, but what you can prove 100%. Hey, Gossip News says Erika will be gone next. Yup. LA says Candy Rules. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I love you so much. Thank you. Hey, Foxy. It definitely is Barbara. Tom is no dummy. He's hiding the expensive ish that was brought with the stolen money. 100%. 100%. And the feds have started confiscate. Because remember Tom's mistress, the one who was a judge, he paid for her law school and he paid for her plastic surgery. He gave her money and he gave her like $300K for one of her houses, like her lake house or vacation house and some other stuff. And the feds came and confiscated that stuff. She said, oh, I'm going to cooperate and I'll turn everything over, but only after she was caught. That's how you know she's dirty too. She's taking some like sabbatical or hiatus from being a judge since everything came out. I think once everything dies down with Tom, probably a couple of years, she'll probably go back to the bench. But that also tells me she is also evil and corrupt and not right. Because if you knew that he was like it was all victims' money. Why didn't you turn it over the moment you knew? She was doing a wait and see. I'm just going to wait and see if the feds come and tell me I have to turn this stuff over, right? Ugh, girl, bye. Deb says that way he gets a lesser sentence. Exactly. Hey, reality tea with Krista. And hopefully they can get her receiving stolen property. Yep, receiving. Very good point. Very good point. Foxy says hiding. Deb says truth, Krista Marie. Yup. Reality TV with Krista says she's guilty in Bravo Court of Law. Listen, she's guilty. I'm going to give her LWOP, life without the possibility of parole. She gets an LWOP. If I had my way, Erika would be in jail for the rest of her life. Candy Cane says, so right, the only housewife voice is like Candace from Potomac. Exactly. Yeah, Candace is very talented. She really is. Hey, Bravo at Foxy, definitely Tom is no fool. Steve C says Tom confronted the intruders. Hey, you think I look bad? You should have seen the other guy. Tom, get out of here. Hey, Foxy, Tom was and is a very smart man. He scammed many millions from innocent people for a very long time. Exactly. The Toxie says, and the fake blizzard in Pasadena. Yeah, it doesn't. Did they say it rained? It was raining, girl. No, it was snowing in Pasadena. Girl, bye. Hey, Gossip News, not die. I meant jail. Yes. I'm ready for him to go to jail. Yes, me too. I am with you on that. He needs to go all the way under the jail. He also needs an LWOP, life without the possibility of parole. Hey, Vaca, I'm sick of the crooks. Me too. Hey, Deb, Jen didn't want to tell the truth. No, she didn't. Speaking of Jen, and this is going to come out, I said this a couple of times, but I always said that Coach Shaw was the real MVP. And what I meant by that was he was scheming and scamming right along with Jen Shaw, dipping it and doing it, but he was strategically trying to stay out of it. And I think that, like, legally out of it, right? But I think that Jen Shaw pled guilty to protect Coach Shaw. Not because she wanted to plead guilty, but to want to protect him so he would not go down with her. I think they thought, let me take the L because we still have our children. Coach can be here for the boys while I take the L rather than both of them going to jail. And I think that's why she pled guilty. And they're going to talk about it tonight at the reunion, that same exact conspiracy theory that I have been saying for months. Andy Cohen, Heather Gay, and Whitney Rose are going to talk about it. And I'm telling you. Hey, Foxy had Barbara said he was actually a good lawyer, but he had to get greedy. 100%. Hey, Sarah Real Talk. Hello, Candy, all you lovely candy canes. Yes. Hello, LA Stone Girl. I saw those nude photos of Erika, and all the victims will see you next Tuesday. Yeah, she was disgusting. She was disgusting with it. Like, really, ugh. Hey, Deb, she's trying to appear a victim. Exactly. Foxy says, hey, Sarah. Barbara says he's a monster. Nataski says fine art, jewelry, and real estate are usually the go-tos. 100%. 100%. Even horses. That might sound weird, but horses are very, very, expensive to buy. They hide money in horses, too. Gossip News says, I meant jail. Yes, we know Gossip. We know Gossip News. We love you. Yes, it's time for him to go all the way to jail. Sarah says, Foxy, some love. Fox says, he sure is. Sarah says, some love. Yes, Gossip News. HT says, I don't believe that Erika will ever turn on Tom. I think she would. But the only reason why I think she would is because I think he would give her the okay. I think if he knew that he literally was at the end of the road, there was no way to scam out of this. There was nobody else to bribe. There was nobody else to take the fall for him. That he literally had no way out. I think he would give her the green light to turn on him to help save her. But that's the only reason why I think she would ever turn on him. Because I think that they are literally in cahoots to the day they die. There's some Bonnie and Clyde psycho stuff going on there. The whole situation with her being like, he cheated on me and I want a divorce. That was a scheme they came up with together. That was probably his idea and he co-signed it. I don't think Erika moves without Tom's co-signing it. And I think he would tell her, if he truly believed there was literally no way out for him, go ahead and do it. And then she would. You know what I'm saying? Deb says, weight loss equals semi-glutide injections. Yep. Hey, Natoski's laughing at Ellie Stone Gal. Ellie Stone Gal says, IRS is coming for you, Erika. Bye-bye, mean girl. That's true. That's also true. Hey, Reality Tea with Chris and Marie says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Gossip News. Fuck, I can't believe I put the wrong word. Oh, it's all good. We love you, Gossip News. It's all good. Hey, Ellie Stone Gal, Natoski is going to happen. Yep, it is. Hey, Steve C. Hard to think she hasn't played a part in hiding assets. Exactly. Hey, Vaca, they need to find all of the money. Vaca says, right, the mistress, 100%. Sarah says, forensic accounts are no joke. They know all the tricks. Yeah. And remember when Sutton kept saying, oh, I'll give you my forensic accountant for my divorce, and Erika kept brushing her off? Erika doesn't want your forensic accountant, Sutton. Erika doesn't want them finding out all of this stuff. Erika is still in on it. That was when Sutton was still thinking Erika was a victim. Girl, bye. Hey, Miss J, 100% right. I own an insurance firm and I have the fiduciary duty to always tell the truth to them and to never mishandle funds info. I would lose my license in 24 hours if I had these charges. Yep, 100%. Hey, she off topic, but did you hear when I want to start her own show and take down Kris Jenner? I did hear that. Yeah, Lisa when I want to start her own show and take down Kris Jenner. Yeah, we're going to talk about that on the channel. We're going to talk about it. Barbara says, at Sarah Roll Talk, exactly. Hey, Deb, federal lawsuits in Chicago, not LA. Dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah. Sorry, you guys. Okay. LA Stone Gal says, all judges and lawyers and FBI, etc. so scared right now, basically. Baca says, Erika needs to sell those ugly things of hers for more money so it can make up money for the victims. I agree. Deb says, it will all come out. Reality Tea with Krista says, seems like there's a lot of stolen property being distributed. Sounds like felonies to me. Receiving it is a crime in my world. Yeah, receiving stolen property, receiving stolen goods. LA Stone Gal says, Erika is disgusting. That part. Barbara says, at Deb, it doesn't matter what state is coming out of federal. It's all across the country, not like state police. Very true. Deb says, and being notified that it's stolen and refusing to return over is definitely against criminal law. Yep, that's why she kept trying to say it's a gift, but that really didn't even matter. It's still illegal. Hey, LA Stone Gal, so sad, but FBI and DA's most corrupt. Barbara says, I believe Jen pled guilty to save him. Me too. Foxy says, Tom and Erika is not looking good, as good now as they did when they came on the show. Whoopsies, basically. Barbara says, see, I believe the same thing, Candy. I believe that about Jen and Coach. 100%. 100%. He knew. And he has money scrolled away too. 100%. Deb says, yes, I understand federal 21 years and litigation. Reality Tea with Krista says she's too selfish. Yep. Candy K says, who lets their wife go down? Awful. I called it, though. I never trusted Coach Shaw. Ever. And the thing is, if I think Teresa knew what Joe was doing, if I think that Erika knew what Tom was doing, then I would be a hypocrite if I said, oh, I don't think Coach Shaw knew what Jen was doing. Yeah, right. Of course he knew what she was doing. Of course he knew. Of course. Sarah Real Talk says, Erika a B-wing with all those other Bravo crooks. Yep. Totsky says, or what if Coach manipulated Jen into doing that so he can then remain safe under the pretense of keeping the family together? That's another good one. Natowski says, yep, horses. Deb says, Chicago judge doesn't care about Newsom and LA politicians affected. Very true. Reality Tea with Krista says, I think if that's the case, he tricked her into pleading guilty. Jen was willing to take her mom's life savings. She's not saving Coach. See, the thing with that is, I don't think that the mother actually gave her life savings. I think that was Jen's money. And I think they did that little scene as a way to, have a narrative of where they got the money from that wasn't connected to their bank accounts. You know what I mean? Like your mom would do anything for you, right? And I think that whole scene was scripted. I think that was Jen's money to pay for the lawyers, but they probably wanted to cry broke. Oh, we don't have any money. And they probably didn't want to have to answer for where they got all that money from. And so they said it was the mother's savings, but I don't think it was. LA Stone Girl says, Foxy, so true. Foxy says, yep, expensive horses too. Yep. Natasha says, race horses. Exactly. Fox says, LA Girl style. Yes. Deb says, Jen is guilty. Oh, Jen is guilty as sin. Guilty as sin. But I think Coach Saul should be right in jail with her. LA Stone Gal says, Foxy, yep, yep. Deb says, yep, as hell. Yep, as hell. Mm-hmm. Natasky says, I think Erika knows Tom knew some powerful people and he flexed that to her to always remind her. That's true too. This is the thing. I think, was Tom the dominant and controlling and powerful one in the relationship? Yes. But is that what Erika 100% signed up for? Also, yes. You know what I mean? She at any time could have divorced him and left. At any time. But she didn't. She stayed. So, it's up to her. Deb says, read the legal docs. Fox says, I think she actually loves him still. Yeah. Strawberries and Candy says, if they found out Tom is mentally fine, they'll go extra hard to press her financially. Erika's got offshore accounts. If they discover this, it's going to impact everybody. I agree. Let's see. Reality Tea with Krista says, Erika's got nothing to save him for. She's saving herself, and so would Shaw. I think Coach knew, but tricked her into pleading. 100%. 100%. I definitely think she pled for him. I think she would have fought to the cows came home if it wasn't for him. Drop the link in case anybody wants to come up. There's no pressure, only if you want to. Hey, LA Stone Gal, Erika would turn on anyone. Deb says federal equals United States court. Barbara says, remember, Tom and Erika speak every day. Exactly. Deb says, not a state court. Yeah. That's why they're going after them, because it's not the state court. They're not worried about it. They're like, let's just do it. Hey, Baka, yes, alleged victim is Tom talking. He's pulling all of those schemes, but you're not smarter than us, Tom. You may be smarter than Erika, but not us. Exactly. Gossip News says, I love you all as well. Yes, we love you, Gossip, 100%. And I agree. I want her under the jail, and him too. I agree. Fox is at Bravo. They are still in this together. 100%. Ride or die. Sarah Real Talk says, I would not be surprised if he has some way of getting off the charge. I really hope not. I really, really hope not. Barbara says, Fox 100%. I have no doubt. LA Stone Gal says, I think you're right, Candy, but Erika loves Tom and will be okay. I think Erika still loves Tom, but I don't think she's going to be okay. I think she's going to be indicted. And I don't think that they're going to give her immunity. They might give her a deal, but I don't think she's going to get immunity. Natasky says, Erika doesn't want that forensic account digging and finding out the truth of her involvement. Exactly. Foxy says, Tom is that man who Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, very psychotic, very sociopathic, all of it. Hey, Miss J, I would watch anything that involved taking down Jenner or Kardashians. That part. Hey, Zolma, I can't remember what season, but didn't Erika say she worked in Tom's law firm maybe 10 years? She did say that. She did. She said she could pretty much be a lawyer herself at this point. Remember she said that? Foxy says, me either, Barbara. Artist Flip says, hey, everyone, hit that like at Candy Rocks. That's right, you guys. Hit the like. Thank you, Artist. Foxy says, Erika said Tom taught her so much about being a lawyer. She could be one, too. Yup. And she did help him out at his office. 100%. That's why she got so much in her feelings when Tom respected Lisa Vanderpump so much. Barbara says, Foxy, great minds think alike. Ellie Stone Gal says, over the summer, Kyle was so fat. Did she know about this? And I think Erika will be hurting Kyle via cell phone with Rena and all know about fake robberies. Yeah, it's a lot. Foxy says, yes, Barbara. Steve C. Coach was a lawyer who conveniently gave up practicing just at the same time she started scamming her career. Exactly. So too many coincidences and something for sure going on there. 100%. Reality Tea with Krista says, oh, good one. I didn't think of that. Yup. Hey, Sarah Bell Talk, Coach seems dodgy to me. My spidey senses tingle whenever he appears. He comes off very fake. He comes off extremely fake. Lord Karma says, hi, Sarah. Hi, Krista. Hey, Karma. That's me. Sarah Real Talk says, she loved the power of Tom Girardi. She was so impressed by him. He spoke to her like crap. That part. Juanita says, I think Erika's son knows. Oh, I think her son knows 100%. Oh, 100%. Don't forget, her son's a cop. Her son's a cop. I think he's LAPD. Or something like that. Maybe he's a Pasadena cop. I don't know. And I know they were living in a mansion, but her son was also still living with them. I know he probably had his own wing or whatever, but he was still living with them. He knew. Hey, Miss J, here's a thought. Maybe Erika Jayne never left Tom Girardi because she knew she had the California bar under his thumb, and that she would get screwed in the divorce even with no prenup. I think she didn't divorce him because she was down with it. She was down with it. She wanted the lifestyle. She wanted the money. And she didn't care that it was coming from victims. She just wanted that life. I don't think Erika Jayne was unhappy. I don't think Erika Jayne was, any of that stuff. I think Erika Jayne was living her best life. And she didn't care where the money came from, Because if you're truly unhappy, if you truly have a moral compass, there are people who leave marriages without a dime. Without a dime. They walk away from marriages without anything. Erika was fine. She was happy, living her life. Lord Karma says, I would, but my ATM mother is, but at the moment, my mother is here helping me, LOL. Oh, that's fine, Lord Karma, all good. Hey, Miss J, I think she knew the whole time he was corrupt and she stayed. Exactly, Sarah Realtot says, yep. Ebony is laughing. Hey, Barbara, it's not love. It's more like Stockholm Syndrome. Ah! Hey, Gossip News, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, go ahead and sound off.
So, I'm actually glad that Tom is getting indicted for this. I've been begging for this to happen.
Me too.
I do feel like Erika may be, she may be conflicted. She distanced herself from him after this whole thing came out against Tom. Yet, at another part of her union, she says that Tom has tried to call her and that she did talk to him. So I'm guessing she still has love for him, but at the same time, she's like, well, now, I mean, it was pretty obvious that Tom talked to her like a child. And that's how I viewed it. It was him talking to her down like a child.
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like that's how Tom spoke to everyone. And I'm not excusing it, but I think he's so narcissistic and sociopathic that he's like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm the most powerful person. Everyone bows down to me. That's why he was able to run the scheme in the first place, because the way he bullied people and talked down to people and got people to do what he wanted out of fear. So I think that's just how he is. But I think Erika has never been conflicted. I think Erika always knew she wanted to be rich and she wanted to be famous. It's not like she was, because even prior to Tom, she was acting, she was modeling, she was stripping. I'm not trying to shame any mother because sometimes we put too much pressure on women, but she left her son in New York to come to LA. I don't know a lot of moms, and again, I'm not trying to be biased, but it takes a certain type of woman to leave her child behind. Like, for example, look at Taraji P. Henson. She was a young mom, but she took her son, and she came out to LA, and she made it happen. She was a single mom, and she made it happen. So I think it takes a special type of person, particularly mothers, who are able to leave their children behind. So Erika, it's not like Erika has been this like loving moral person and was corrupted by Tom. I think Erika found the right person for her. You know what I mean? Like, I think Erika is just like Elisa Renat. They would do anything for money. Relentless. That's why they're best friends, two peas in the pod. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're saying.
yeah. So I think Erika was just as dirty as Tom.
And I do agree with you with that that she was as crooked as Tom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%. What do you think she's going to be like on the next season? Do you think it's going to be an apology tour? Or do you think she's going to be the biggest villain of the show trying to take everybody down?
See, I'm conflicted about that. I would kind of like to have her try to do like a apology tour,
Mm-hmm.
but I also think now that she's gone after Dorit and PK, it's going to be where they're going to paint. Bravo, Andy and Bravo are going to use Erika as the next villain after Raina.
Yep.
Because out of the two of them, well, Lisa Rinna, Erika, and Kyle. Lisa's now gone. Kyle's going through some type of mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that really would take charge in all of this would be Erika.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, that makes me kind of wonder if, without Lisa being there, is it that she's going to change to the better for where she can generally build a connection with Sutton and Garcelle?
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to apologize to Crystal for snapping at her during the trip to
Yeah.
when she snapped on Crystal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Nataski, you want to sound off?
Hey, yeah, I can't really see Erika ever holding herself accountable just because she doubled down the way she did for 2 years. Like, she was giving every opportunity and people were actually like spoon feeding her excuses, and she was like basically turning them away to be like, nope, I don't feel bad for them. So it would be so ingenuous for her to suddenly be like, I really had a come to God moment, and I actually developed some empathy, and like no one would believe that.
Exactly.
And she did work for his law firm, and
Yep.
I think you're right. When I guess I never put it two and two together when she was speaking with Sutton that time. Like, she really was kind of like dodging that. She's like, oh, a forensic accountant, who needs that? She was like being like not really taking it seriously, and I kind of just like it blew over my head at the time. But you can totally see now that obviously that's the last thing that she wants, because they would find out how truly involved she was all along.
Exactly. And then, Sutton, bless her heart, was so offended. Oh, why wouldn't you want my forensic accountant? Girl, because she's guilty. She's guilty.
I think that's why Sutton was like so pissed too.
Yeah, she couldn't get it. Ugh.
Because she was like, I actually was almost paid for this person's, and I was like offering so much help. And to come to find out, she was lying to all of her faces.
Yep. You want to sound off, Karma?
F Erika, I'm bored of her. I've got better news. Mary Cosby's coming back to Salt Lake.
Oh God!
Wait,
she beat her charges. I heard.
Wait, she coming back?
Yeah, she's coming back. It's
finally.
They don't know for sure. I just saw like a thing that she might. No,
she's in negotiations. It's on Bravo on the thing saying she's coming back.
Oh shit!
I was just like, this is the best ever. I was just like, my favorite is coming back. Screw her. She can go to prison. She can do what the hell she wants. Tom can go with her. I don't care. It's done. It should have been done 2 years ago. It's been dragged on enough.
No,
I don't know. I like Mary Cosby for comedic reasons, but morally, I don't know if I can get behind her.
Look, I always have said this about Mary Cosby. Her one-liners are funny, but when she gets too into herself, she can say the wrong things. And I knew there was a reason why this third season they kept on bringing back old clips of Mary. I knew there was a reason.
Because she gathered the girls, but then at the end of the day, the implications against her, like, we can't deny that.
I mean, true.
You have to be like forcing your eyes shut to not see the writing on the wall that there's some serious, like, kind of nefarious kind of business going on.
I mean, true.
I'll keep my eyes shut. I'm more interested with the show and the comedy factor. The thing seems so Lisa Barlow says, we're not getting businesses involved. We'll not to go there. But I will say this about Erika. I want to know, is it been actually stated that she's implicated with this or not? Because if it hasn't been stated that she hasn't been implicated, they're not going to touch her, and she could be like safe. You know what I mean? Because she's pretty cocky, thinking that she's not going to get harmed by this, and it's all on Tom.
Tom is the one who's been indicted, but I think it's literally a matter of time before they indict Erika as well.
Right, because that just means they're digging in more.
I think she will be indicted. Yeah, 100%. I think
it's basically like before they had it's like basically they had a shovel before, and now they have a bulldozer, and they're really
yeah.
And little bits of Erika are sure to come up.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's crazy how it's taken this length of time to get this sorted out, considering how many cases and what it's been going through and how many people he's done this over the amount of years. This is a very long time.
Well, he's completely entwined in the justice system, and he held a very powerful position within that, as well as was friends with the actual governor. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm actually surprised that he is seems like
like I said earlier in the comments, if I was Erika, I would keep silent, because even though he has been indicted, he still has family, and they still know people, and they'll still have money loitering around. And also, she's got a son to protect as well.
Tom's always given me like mafia vibes.
I'd be very wary of what I'd be saying in court if I was Erika, because Tom ain't no fool.
I think it probably is very sorry.
That's all I can say with it, because Tom is you've seen how bold he is, and he doesn't care if he's going down. If she opens her mouth, he'll go for her. It's blatantly obvious.
I mean, true. I mean, the same thing happened to Jen. Jen thought that she was untouchable until Stuart basically said, you know what? I give in. Me and Jen did this. She was a part of it.
He basically was like, yeah, we did this. What can you do for me? Like, lessen my sentence. Because when it gets to a certain part, there's just no honor among thieves anymore. You'll be thick as thieves until it gets to a certain point, and then there's no honor left.
That's what I was going to say last night.
It's going to be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you're dealing with two bad people that are friends, you think they're really going to be that loyal in the end?
No.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad how it's come to this point with this court case and the length of time it's took. But like I say, unless they start bringing up something with Erika's name in it, what's concrete to hold her against, I'm sorry, but she's going to end up keep walking free and laughing her back off.
I don't think so. She also has the $25 million lawsuit that she's currently battling.
When is that starting?
Wait, Candy, what happened to the spelling man or that like crazy story?
So that one has gone pretty quiet. It was like a press release that was released to like law.com or something. So to me, that's one of two things. It's either one, it was sort of like, not like a spoof, but I don't know, planted for whatever reason. And it's not really real. Like there's no really legs there. Or two, it is really real and they're investigating it and they're keeping everything very close to the vest. But we haven't really heard anything else about it. No one's come out to talk about it. Richard just hasn't really talked about it or anything like that. So we'll see. But at this point, pretty much everybody implicated is already facing multiple lawsuits, except for Rick Hilton. He actually just made a big payout because he just bought out Hilton and Highland. So he just got a big payout. So everybody implicated, Tom Girardi, Erika Girardi, Mauricio, and Rick, out of the four people who were implicated, Rick is doing fine, more than fine. Mauricio has his own lawsuits coming up because he allegedly was defrauding his clients and other brokers. Tom Girardi just got indicted. Erika Jayne is facing a $25 million lawsuit, and on top of that, a $2.27 million tax lien lawsuit. So Erika's got some problems herself, and I predict she will be indicted. It might not be tomorrow, but it's going to happen.
When is this lawsuit happening? The 25 million? Like, when's that court case happening?
I don't know, but it's happening now. They were talking about it.
I just gotta say this. Why is Bravo hiring all of these criminals?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I was joking one time, and I was like, what if like they have the FBI, they like invoice the FBI, and they're like, here you go. And or like someone was like, what if it's like this, like, because it draws in narcissists.
Yep.
And so usually with narcissists at this level, there usually tends to be some kind of funny business in their business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it's just when you have it's just like a sheer odds, I think. Like statistics, it's like when you get 30 narcissists that are rich together, a couple of them are going to be fraudsters.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. What do you call it? I found it, Lord Karma. So Erika's $25 million lawsuit, she was deposed on December 19th, 2022. So just about a little more than a month ago. So if they're still in the deposition process, this is pre-trial. So the lawsuit is going on, but it's ongoing activated. And she was sued by the trustee for $25 million. Ongoing case.
So she's not free from that yet. So when she was bragging before.
No, she's not free from this.
That was just one jurisdiction before.
Yeah. And what she was bragging about before, like, again,
I think it was Chicago.
It was the Chicago one, and they dismissed it so that they could go and refile in California. So it wasn't that she was cleared, it was that they dismissed it so they could refile it. Then the other lawsuit that she claims to, like, oh, she's winning all these lawsuits. No, that one was very different. That lawsuit was with other partners at the firm who was suing Tom and Erika because they were also being defrauded. And the reason why she got out of that one was because Tom is the one who has the fiduciary duty to his co-counsel. Erika does not have a fiduciary duty to them. Those were not, quote, victims that we think about, like the children and the orphans and all that.
Yeah.
These were his co-counsels. So it's a completely different situation. Same fraud, but different situation.
So they were basically non-paid workers.
Not necessarily unpaid workers, but they were also being scammed. Yeah. By him. Yeah. So Erika Jayne is full of it. Yeah, and this is in December, which was like a month ago. So this is still going on, and it hasn't gone to trial yet. They're still being deposed.
What if okay, I don't know if this would happen, but what if Lisa, in order for like a desperate plea to get this like family show up and running, she's going to claim to spill the beans on Erika. But no, I feel like she's kind of implicated because I really do believe she took some kickbacks. So I don't know.
I mean, here's my thing about it. If Rena does decide to flip on Erika, then Erika could say, Lisa knew about it and she took money from me for her not to speak.
Exactly. I feel like they have too much dirt on each other for that to ever happen. Now that I think
of course they do. Why else? Why haven't you? Whenever we see them together, they have never gone at each other, and that's because they're like, okay, you know my dirt, I know your dirt. So instead
in the beginning, they were kind of, remember, they didn't like each other, and then when they realized they both were cancers and they both were evil, they were like, "Hello, friend."
Yeah, it's like this dark, sick, twisted alliance.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob, do you want to share?
I was cleaning the house and I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta come back."
Come on back.
Came back at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still amazed and shocked. And I remember when the whole spelling manner came up, and supposedly they had bought this money that supposedly stole. But I like how you guys were saying earlier. I don't think it hasn't really been reported on, besides the fact that Hilton and Highland had that listing because it was on the market for like 160 million or something, some crazy number. But their names aren't really associated with it. Erika and Tom, like their names are kind of far away from it at this point in time. So I feel like that's just one thing that they're getting away with for the time being.
But I thought they were like literally pretending to be a man and wife. Like I thought like Erika was wearing a trench coat and powdered her hair to look gray and like walked in with Tom pretending to be Miss White.
Yeah, it was like something, that's why a part of me is kind of like we might have been getting trolled.
Maybe like distracted to not focus on like the real stuff.
Yeah. So who knows? But there's enough going on with all of this stuff anyway.
And you know what? I was looking at the comments, and Robert's right. Elena brought Lisa and Erika together.
You mean Eileen?
Eileen. Yes, yeah. Eileen.
Eileen, I swear, she seems such a sweetheart. I can't understand why she was always good friends with Lisa.
Yeah, this is the thing. The people who are like covert Lisa Rinna people always surprise me a little bit, but not really. Like, I get why Eileen was close to Lisa. I think because they came up in the soap days, and even though Eileen has been a working actress, you know, she's had the job with the soaps, I don't think that Lisa Rinna ever felt threatened by her. So
maybe that's it.
And I think Lisa Rinna's personality is very different depending on whether or not she views you as a threat or she feels insecure about you.
Yeah, you're right. I think you nailed it.
Because people aren't 100% anything. We all can be different.
And we've all seen that lots of times in our lives. You've seen people that like are like really awesome to everyone else, and then to you they just act funny. And you're like, why? What did I do?
That's why you're friends with some people and you're not friends with some people, but those people still have their own friends, you know.
And they have totally different experiences with them. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. With that.
Go ahead. I also think that Eileen. I think that Eileen was the more passive of Lisa and Erika.
Yes.
Because, you know, when
she didn't challenge her as much.
As you see with Dorit literally went at Erika and then went at Lisa. And I guess it depends on the housewives' personalities. Because when we get Eileen, yes, but when Lisa Rinna and Kim were going at it, of course, Lisa managed to pull Eileen into it, where it was then a 2-tag team against Kim. But I also think at that point, Eileen was like, "Oh, right, I'm closer to Lisa because we both have been in soap operas. My loyalty lies with her." And then when Erika showed up, and you know, Erika was being cast to join some soap opera that.
I think it was Days of Our Lives. It was like given as a gift.
Yeah.
Given as a gift.
Yeah, like a guest role. That she was like, "Here, I talked to them. You can have like a 2-day role or whatever."
Yes.
Well, this is the thing. I think it's more like I don't think Eileen ever saw the evil Rinna because she never experienced it, right?
Yeah,
I don't think she ever saw the evil Erika because she never experienced it. So I think it's more along those types of lines than anything else, if that makes sense. But I think that the tea lady brings up a very good question. Do you think Erika's son will flip on them?
I mean,
no.
I think he's going to lay low as much as he possibly can. But if put to the fire, maybe.
I mean, I think about it like this. We have never seen her son on the show in the amount of time that Erica's been on the show, I don't think her son wants to be associated with the show.
Correct.
Well, he's a cop, so like
But he's a
technically
cop
his between his job and like just like his safety.
I don't
True.
think he knows.
Jacob, what do you think?
I don't think he knows anything concrete anyway. I don't think he knows. I think he believes Erica's lies. Truly.
I think he's in cahoots.
I mean, I can believe that he's in cahoots.
Oh.
I mean,
I think he helped clean up the mess with him, and I think that whole thing of him discovering Tom in the ditch is all like a lie. He was there, like helping him.
Yes, because that story didn't make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, her son randomly. It happened to be snowing for the first time ever in Pasadena, and he tumbled, and the son happened to get there first. I feel like he took him under his wing. He looked up to him because there's some dirty cops, and I feel like I don't know. I'm just going with a hunch here. I don't have any proof or whatever, but like that's just what my gut says.
Wow.
I think with the
I didn't think so. I think he's just chilling. I don't think he showed up to Tom's house on that day that Erika said. I don't think any of that remotely happened. I don't know though.
Because I don't think she would have mentioned him unless she had to. Because if anyone saw him, he was there. But that's what I mean. I think if he's ever mentioned, then I feel like his presence was there. Because otherwise, she would just avoid mentioning him.
See, I disagree. I disagree with that. I think when it comes to her son, I think that he probably has like a respect for Tom since they were all living in the same house together. I think he probably had a neediness for his mother, since I'm not going to say she abandoned him because I don't want to get into too many like social feminism situations, but he was a child and she left him with the father in New York while she went to LA to pursue her dreams. People make decisions. So he probably saw some childhood stuff about, where did my mom go? And so now in adulthood, he's a police officer. He's living under the roof with Tom and Erika. I don't think the son participated in the fraud. I think he may have had a feeling that everything wasn't up to snuff, but it was probably just like a feeling like, rich people kind of bend the rules. Rich people kind of get away with stuff. I don't think he was an active person in the fraud. And I think the reason why she used him was because it was at a point where she literally had to only use people that she could really trust since they were under the gun.
Yeah, I'm not saying like he was like literally like helping to unload money or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I think he did have some knowledge of Tom. I almost said Tom's foolery. but and I think I was under the impression that he actually like looked up to him and Tom had gotten him involved in the police to begin with. Encouraged him because of his connections with law and the judicial system. And it was all tied in and he kind of looked up to him. And I really feel like, if you're a powerful lawyer and you're literally besties with the governor, that is a very powerful position. And you're in law enforcement, you're going to listen to that person.
He also got, but the son also got benefited. He was also getting credit cards and debit cards and money and all of that stuff. So he was also, just like Erika Jayne, he was also profiting from stolen goods. So do I think he was the one defrauding the victims? No. But did he benefit from the fraud? Yes.
Yes.
I think he was smart enough to know that something wasn't right. Yes.
I guess
but maybe he didn't know all the ins and outs of like
maybe
the detail.
Of it. I don't think a lot of people understood the actual depth of it, but I don't think that he thought that Tom was just, going to work every day, 9 to 5, trying these cases and making all this money and having everybody in his pocket.
Yeah.
I think the son had a feeling. But he was like, okay, look, I get this. My stepfather's rich. My mom's rich. I get these credit cards with almost like unlimited amount of money. There may be something off here, but I'm going to just enjoy my unlimited rich life credit card and not ask questions.
What a confident
This is also like a different thing too, but I am a firm believer, and this is just what I believe, but I really think that there is a dynamic that men suffer from when they have trouble with their mothers. Because I'm pretty sure like 99% of serial killers have mommy issues.
Yes.
I feel like when it comes to like that dynamic, like everyone suffers when you have issues with your mom, but I feel like there's a turning point, like for men especially, that dynamic that can really, if they have that in them, that could just push them over the edge into evil town, you know?
I agree.
Can I say a couple of points? Going back to Eileen's situation, Eileen's not a stupid woman. She knows what Lisa Rinna's
Oh my God.
She knows what Lisa Rinna's like behind the scenes. Do you think she's going to go up against Lisa Rinna and put up with Lisa Rinna's crap when she's wanting to be on a TV show? I highly doubt it. So Eileen uses her brain and keeps her mouth shut. The other thing is, Yolanda was a friend of Erika Jayne's as well as Eileen when she entered. The next part is Erika's son, of course, is going to stand by his mother. It's his mother at the end of the day, regardless of what the relationship is. It's family. So, of course, he's going to keep his mouth shut and be supportive towards the family and not say nothing. Plus, if he was implicated and it looked like he was implicated, it could cost him his job as well because he's breaking the law. And
guilty by association.
But at the time, he didn't have anything to worry about because his stepfather was one of the most powerful men in the judicial system in California. So, like, I don't really think.
Look what's happened now, though. He may have been powerful, but look what's happened now. It always comes back around. There's always people watching, regardless how tricky and how deviant people are. There's always people watching, and no one escapes it. It always comes back on them. You do wrong, you will get consequences after it.
But I don't think these people were aware of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it this far. I think they were under the impression that they were never, ever going to get caught. They haven't got caught for 30 years.
Yeah, he's gotten away with it for so long.
Yeah.
This was fraud just as your first fraud. There's little stuff that we'll know about that done. A little stuff compared to this. Like, there's stuff that we'll never hear.
Yeah, there's stuff that we will never know about. Absolutely.
Look,
and like
as a criminal justice major.
Wait, let Jacob go, then Gossip News go.
Well, no, I mean, all I'm saying is that, you know, in terms of it getting caught, I don't believe that he ever thought he would get caught. The only reason why any of this started happening was because of what? Because of the lockdowns and the courts not really happening and no more money coming in.
It really kicked off with the burn victim.
Sorry.
Well, he was always trying to push, but that wasn't getting any full. And then when the court system slowed down, things started it kind of revealed, because normally it was like the stealing from Tom to pay for Paul. What is that saying? Well, that's
robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yep. So when the court systems were significantly slowing down, that's when all of a sudden you saw what he was doing, because he wasn't able to access Tom or Paul or whatever. Peter, Paul, something.
Right, because I think one of the first things where people were like, what's going on, was I forgot, creditor was suing a bank, and people were like, uh-oh, there's money problems. Then the Lion Air flight came about, because that was from a case out of Chicago, not LA. Yep. So there were, you know, obviously he didn't pay off any people in Illinois. And so that's, you know, these people don't think they'll get caught, because I believe oftentimes, most of the time, they don't get caught.
I really
exactly.
And he hadn't been disbarred.
And these people also have that, they're sociopaths, right? Yeah. They're psychotic. They have that in their mind. They think, I'm the smartest person in the room. I will never get caught. I can talk myself out of anything.
Delusions
Think about
of grandeur.
all of the personalities on reality TV. You know, we have our go-tos for Bravo, but even beyond that, you know, look at Todd Chrisley and his wife, and, you know, look at all those other people. Why would you even put yourself on reality TV, national television, knowing you're running all of these schemes, is because they have the same exact pathology, sociopath. You know, it's where they really believe their own delusion. They drink their own Kool-Aid, and they really think they will never get caught and they'll get away with everything because the rules do not apply to them.
I could not agree with you more.
And that's why Mary was smart to get off of, and this is the
that's
thing
why
about
she
Mary,
that's why she bolted. She's
Mary
like, oh,
was like, I don't want. Mary left Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because she didn't want the smoke. She knew that they were starting to talk about her church, her finances, the businesses, her dead grandmother, all of that stuff. She didn't want the smoke. That's why she left. Mary, if you're a smart girl, you may have, beat these charges, but I don't think that Mary is. I in my gut, I think she's a fraud. I think she's a scammer. I think she's a charlatan. 100%. I like her personality, but I don't think she's legit. I don't. She may have beaten the charges because every criminal that is charged, unfortunately, doesn't always get held accountable. There are people who get off. Sometimes
what
it's
exactly was
evidence.
she charged for?
I'm not 100% sure what she was charged for.
Because I thought it was only there was something
Jacob.
unrelated.
No, I looked deep into her once, and I was like, this lady's crazy because her mother has been suing her for the last 20 or something years. That's why on the show, Mary's like, oh, I haven't seen my mother in 25 years because she thought she was supposed to take over in the church. No, Mom is suing you because you took all the money. You and Robert Sr. took all the money. In the law, because I read the documents, the mom is accusing Mary of having something to do with the grandma's death. So much so that a few years after she died, they actually were able to get a court order to dig up the body and do a autopsy.
Yeah, this is deep. This is like, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that is like pointing in that direction. You can't. Yeah, you can't ignore that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Look, I always had a question about if Mary's was it her grandmother or her grandmother told Mary that she was leaving everything to her, including the church.
None of that
the money,
that's according to Mary.
The fact that she had to marry her great grandfather. Well,
no, just her
I don't believe it.
Grandfather.
Yeah,
great grandfather.
I was like, just the grandfather. But then it turned out that there was no will. She lied about that.
That's why.
And then also, like, her church to me seems very culty.
It is
very, very culty. Any church where you worship the leader and that you're not worshiping God, to me, is a cult.
Yeah, because they at one point they were positioning her as like a deity in her own.
Yep.
Yes, the Mother's Day thing where Jen went there, and they're talking about how Mary is the analogy to God. I'm like
the female version of Jesus. I was like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And this is the thing, Mary. Come back if you want to. But you're about to be the next Teresa. You're about to be the next Jen. You're about to be the next Erika. Because you may have gotten off on these charges. You may have skated off. But they're still coming for you, Mary. She was smart to leave the show. She's going to be very dumb to come back because they're still coming for you, Mary. I
don't believe she will. Just for that, she can't be that dumb.
She can't be.
She can't be that dumb. But now that my thing is, I don't think Mary's dumb. She's smart about it because with everyone focused on Jen and her arrest, if Mary said, "You know what, I'm gonna come back," what are they going to talk about? Meredith and Lisa aren't getting along. Heather and Whitney aren't getting along. Mary could see this as, this is my opportunity to come in because I created this group and I can control
Mary create the group?
I don't
know if Mary
created
But this is the thing with Mary. Like, it's like I say, when it comes to housewives, they need to be one of two things, if not both. One, a great storyline, or B, a great personality that we actually are invested in and have a good kiki in. I think Mary actually has both. I personally think Mary is a great housewife. I just don't like the fraudulent activity that I'm not going to pretend is not going on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think she's morally corrupt.
So I think if Mary does come back, she's going to be a good time. She has amazing one-liners. She reads the girls for filth. And her personality is so quirky and wacky. You know, she's like this woman who's this hoarder of designer clothing. Her grandfather husband can't stand her. You know, her son is like rebelling. That's a weird thing, but he's a great kid, but he's a teenager with an attitude. You know, she has this wacky church, you know, all of this stuff going on. Like, if not for the fraud, I would love Mary.
Can you imagine the bullying he must have endured? It's like your dad is your grandfather or your great grandfather, you weirdo.
Why do I feel like Mary's gonna pull if she comes back to Salt Lake City, she's gonna be like, her storyline is gonna be, well, me and my grandfather/husband got a divorce, and
they're not getting divorced because they're keeping the money right where it is. And there's no need for them to get a divorce because Mary already said it. They don't even live, maybe they live in the same house, but they don't sleep in the same room.
They don't.
Remember
he lives in Florida,
she was so happy about the lockdown because he was in, I forgot where he was, but she was like, it's been so nice to have him not in the house.
Part of me thinks that Mary secretly like put like a root on Jen or something, because when she got she was like, see, that's why you don't. I'll send Jesus after you. And I'm like, oh, is that what you're calling it? Okay.
Look, I feel like I already know who called the FBI on Jen. Of course it was Mary. Mary said, this is why you don't come after me, because I'll send Jesus after you. Jesus was KAA, the FBI.
Well, I'm pretty
Mary
sure
better be careful,
the
she might get her own karma. She might get her own karma with that one. Skimming her
Whitney, because Whitney isn't done with her yet.
Well, Whitney has her things too. These people are a mess.
Yeah,
Whitney's a fake breaker too.
And Heather, I cannot stand Heather.
Thank you. I've never liked her, but I feel so vindicated on a selfish level right now because I've been saying this since day one. Everyone's like, no, she's a fan favorite. She's so quirky and humble. I love her. But I'm like, nope, there's something dark about her.
Stand Heather.
And I've been standing in that forever. And everyone's been like, no. And now we're all seeing it. And I'm like, but no one's going to tell me I was right. It's fine.
Look, you were right. You were right. Because,
thank you. Oh my God.
Because I after the whole black eye thing, I stopped watching The Housewives. That's Salt Lake City. I waited to the reunion, and Heather was like, "You know what? I confess, I blacked out. I was too embarrassed to admit the fact that I was drunk. I had drunk too much and lost control." I'm like, "Girl."
If they had to do
who punched you in the face for 5 episodes?
If they had to do a whole investigation over that nonsense, I think she should definitely be penalized.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly, I read this in like comments sections that supposedly, and I kind of believe it that while they were on the trip, she was, and I probably can't say it on YouTube, so I'm going to say
allegedly and use
that they were all skiing. And that's what caused her to either fall or hit the sink or something. If that really did come out, some of her kids are still minors, so who knows what that could have led to. With her custody.
I mean,
very true. Very true.
And they're probably hitting the slopes, doing some black diamonds, if you will.
But supposedly the producer said, we want to make this a storyline, and that's supposedly why she's answering the question so strangely, like, oh, Jen, why don't you tell what really happened, just so that there could be some other storyline other than the supposed truth. So
part of me had some weird thing with like those two, Jen and Heather, because the way Jen was looking at her whenever she was in front of the group discussing it at any point, Jen just looked really guilty. I don't know if she was just like knew the answer already and she was just like preoccupied and be like, what's this girl gonna say? This is actually funny because now I don't have to lie. But but you know what I mean? Did anyone notice that?
I've noticed it, especially when Meredith came into the picture. And when Meredith said what happened, and Heather's like, well, I don't want to say, and Meredith's like,
Yeah.
Jen was sitting there in the room staring at Heather like, bitch, don't you dare.
I know, right?
Don't you dare.
You keep your mouth shut.
Shut.
Like in her mafia face.
And that's the weird thing.
Snitches get stitches.
And that's my whole thing with the whole Jen and Heather friendship. Heather is still blindly supporting her.
This is why I don't like Meredith, because I'm like, look who she's hanging out with. I've never really liked Meredith either. I'm like, they're just creepy. She gives me a weird vibe. I don't know. Look who... I feel like it's clear as day that you could see someone's moral compass by the two that were aligned after everything was exposed, the most to Jen.
Yes. And which is apparently now Meredith and Heather.
Exactly. That whole left couch of the reunion, evil. But evil left couch.
Was who else on that left side of the couch?
I think Dana.
Angie. No,
Angie
H. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was the Evil Express. Choo choo. Yeah.
Oh wait, because Heather H was on. Wait, no.
And Heather was the engineer driving the train.
Yes. Look, Heather was the conductor.
Yep.
Heather was the engine of the train, and Angie K was the
caboose.
Wait, Angie H. Okay,
Angie
great.
I know, I mix them up too. There's too many Angies.
Okay, Angie H. The blonde one. The blonde, yes.
With
blonde
the elf on the shelf. Yeah.
Was the elf on the shelf. Because even afterwards, she took sides with Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that should tell you all you need to know. But also, I really feel like, I don't know, they jumped the shark with the producers, because like when they were supposed to air the reunion, it just like didn't come on. And they never really told us, hey, we're taking a break this week, or like, you know how they normally do. It just was like MIA one week, and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Oh, because they had more editing to do. Mm-hmm.
And I think they're still trying to pull Jen, see if they can incorporate Jen somehow. And she was like, maybe, I don't know.
Look, and I think that was the thing. I think they delayed it because they wanted to try to convince Jen to come. And Jen was like, I'm not coming. I'm not letting you use this story to crucify me.
No, Jen was just trying to do a money grab with that website. It was all about a money grab, because this is another thing. You know, Jen is lying because her lips are moving, but you also know she's lying because think about precedent. You know, she was indicted. She knew she was going to face these charges. Everybody in her world who actually had a brain was saying, get off the show, like her lawyer. She stayed on the show. She, you know, crashed BravoCon when she wasn't even invited, got wasted with Tamra Judge. Tamra Judge, you know, backstabbed her and told all the secrets. You know, Jen was out here cussing people out. It was all over TMZ. So Jen has never acted like someone who actually thinks that she has to follow the rules or do anything like that or listen to people who have sound mind. So all of a sudden, you think she randomly said, you know what, I'm going to be very quiet and listen to my lawyers and not go to the reunion and not have a sit down with Andy. No, Jen is a scammer, fraudster, con artist. Once won, always won. It was nothing but a money grab. I think she thought, screw you, Bravo. You know, I'm going to, you know, jail or whatever. So screw you guys. Why should I give you the advertising money from the clicks and the views and the ratings when I can make the money myself by telling my story? I think it was nothing but a money grab.
And the fact that she has this website where she's asking for people's emails.
Girl. You would have to be the dumbest of the dumbest to give any type of information to Jen Shaw.
Your brain has had to have literally left your skull.
And we already know she's a dumb criminal because the same exact thing she's going to jail for is the same exact thing she was doing at her job. I forgot with that pyramid scheme company, the telemarketing fraud company that she was working for. They got indicted for that.
I thought the judge like made it clear to her that she couldn't write a book or anything, so she wouldn't monetize on this story. So I don't know how he's allowing her to do this.
I don't know how the judge only gave her 6.5 years.
True. So we could start there, right? We could start there.
Girl died. That's nothing. That is literally nothing, giving everything that she did. So,
Yeah,
You know what?
we could start there.
I will say this. I do think that Coach told her, you know what? It's not best for you to go now that you have confessed that you are guilty. But I think that she pulled the same act as who else did it show up to a reunion? Vanderpump didn't show up because she was bullied off the show.
Mary didn't.
Mary
Mary
did.
didn't. And then wasn't there one on Beverly Hills like before Lisa that left?
Adrienne Maloof.
Yeah.
She left.
Wait, did she not skip out on the reunion too? One
Yeah,
year?
she skipped
Yeah,
out.
because Brandy
Oh.
told the world that she had gotten a surrogate
Oh yeah.
with the boys
Yeah.
before she had even told her own children. See, Brandy is mad evil for a long time.
Brandy
I
is
don't know
scary.
about
She just
Brandy,
scared.
how
I feel like
dirty
she's
she
a
is.
very scary person to me.
To
She's
me,
a dangerous person to be around.
Brandy is a very dangerous person to be around. When somebody
she's
hates
dangerous.
themselves the level that Brandy hates herself, those are
Exactly.
dangerous people.
Because they're that desperate. When people are
Yeah.
desperate like that, there's no line they won't cross.
Yeah,
So they're
that's a
just very
very
dangerous to be
person.
around.
Very
Think about
dangerous.
it.
person.
Think about it. She used Kim to get between Kim and Kyle. Then, once Kim was no use to her, she basically threw her away.
Mhm.
Did you ever believe all those rumors with her and Kim that they secretly something happened?
No.
No.
No, and who cares? No, that's like so corny to me. I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
No.
It is corny. And I definitely did not believe the whole Denise and Brandy story.
I don't. When Denise is like, I'm Denise Richards. Shut up.
Yes. I wish she would come back to the show.
Denise?
Yes, Denise. I need Denise back just as long as she has another storyline than her
Yeah.
marriage and her husband's large, you know what? Because I had almost died all them times that she kept on talking about it.
I think she would be better now because now I think she understands the assignment. I don't
Yes.
think she was prepared when she came on. I think
Yeah,
she thought
I
she
agree.
could, do a cakewalk. Honestly, like Eileen, I don't think she understood how evil Lisa Rinna was.
I mean, true.
And then
I
she got there and then she realized, because you could see it in Denise's face
She was genuinely shocked.
when she was shocked, and you can actually see the wheels in her mind being like, oh, wait a minute. You are the one who's actually stabbing me in the back. You see it in her face. And then that's when Lisa Rinna
That's
goes,
why she was like Renna, because she was like,
angry.
oh, I feel like I feel like I could feel what she was thinking. Like she was like, Renna. Like, remember she kept going Renna? Because she was probably like, what the F are you doing? Like, we're friends. Are you out of your mind? And then when Renna just doubled down, she was like, oh, wow.
See, I think when they got that season when they tried to get rid of Denise was like, you know what? Bravo this, bravo that. Because I think at that point, Denise was like, you know what? You all are using me because now Vanderpump's gone. You're going to use me as a way of trying to get me off the show. So if I keep saying bravo this, bravo that, Bravo's going to cut me. It's going to cut out what I'm saying. And I think that was actually a smart move on her part.
Oh, for sure. They all tried to do that at some point or another.
Yeah.
But little did they know that they actually aired it. Imagine.
True.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you want to talk about iconic, Denise Bravo, effing Bravo, kind of that was an iconic moment. And then now we have Housewives replicating that. Very similar to what Candace did in rhobh. She was like, I'm breaking the fourth wall and you better keep this all in and bring Eric in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very Denise Bravo, Bravo moment where she was like, I'm not the one, not today, breaking fourth wall. Let's do this. So we've seen it kind of now be a little bit more acceptable.
True.
I like that aspect. I feel like it makes, I think Candace brought like the most authenticity to the show out of anyone.
This season,
agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's not saying much considering.
Yeah.
But,
I think it gives a different view of it because of Candace's character. Candace,
What?
well, how I view it is that Candace was like, you know what? She was fine with, they went after Monique. She wasn't a part of that. Well,
Yeah,
they
she
were
was.
talking.
What? She was like,
Wait,
I'm
she
sure
got mollywopped.
we had a conversation about
Why do you think Monique mollywopped her?
Because Candace has a mouth on her. And Candace, I love you, but sometimes you talk too much for your own. You talk too much and you get your own self in trouble.
I think they baited. I think they manipulated Monique, the bandits, into turning into focusing her the frustrations
Anger.
of what was going on Candace, and I think they that was a complete. They played Monique basically.
They did.
I think they played Candace and Monique
the
same way they're playing Jacqueline and Mia.
Yep.
True.
They're very good at divide and conquer.
Oh, they are, because when they see two people who are close friends.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't have that.
They're going to flip it. And you kind of see that when Giselle did the same thing between Karen and Wendy.
What do you mean?
She tried to. When season 6 at the reunion, when Giselle was like, you know what, Wendy? Karen was trying to get you out the show.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, for Wendy, she was like, wait, what? And then Karen was looking at Giselle like, really, bitch? You trying this line again? You did this with Monique. It failed. Like, why are you still doing this? Mm-hmm. But with Candace, Candy is that one that goes rat-a-tat-tat into somebody's behind. She will go off. She will have no complaints. She will not apologize unless she feels like she needs to on her own time. So, yes, when Candace is saying, my husband's been here since season 3. Wait.
Giselle does start all the fights.
She does start all the fights. Mm-hmm. So for Candace is like, you know what? I was fine with you going after Monique. When you went after Wendy, I wasn't really a part of that. And now that you're going after my husband, now I have now that's crossing lines. Mm-hmm. Because I was loyal to you when you wanted to get Monique off the show. I stayed by your side. Now, because I'm friends with Wendy, you deciding to bring this all up. You don't call, you don't text, you bring up on the show.
Because I don't understand why they don't realize that the bandits are not their friends.
They're not. And
they're not.
There's some weird, they've mastered the art of
manipulation.
And also presenting themselves in this very
innocent,
old school kind of hierarchy, sorority, mean girl kind of basic.
It's basically middle school and high school replaying itself out, where the people who really aren't that cool or that interesting have the persona of being really cool,
right?
And the people who actually have things going on because of society and social dynamics still feel the need to be validated by them.
Yeah.
That's basically
because most of these women have Arrested Development. It's working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was mad with Wendy when Wendy's like, me and Robin are good. Why I'm not invited to your
me and Robin would never be good after she tried to encourage me to fight, filmed me, and antagonized me being accosted. And she was like, I had to pry a fake apology. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's my whole thing with Wendy is Wendy, I love you, but girl,
we need you to grow a backbone. We need you to love yourself.
100%.
Love yourself. You're going.
I wouldn't have been like, yeah, Mia, you can come and hang out and kiss me and hang out with my kitty cat after everything Mia's done to Wendy.
True, and I think that's the thing that is that was conflicting for me. It's I understand Wendy wants to be friends with them, but Wendy, they they don't like you because after they went after your husband, you told the truth on them. We all know Giselle can't keep a man. Robin and her whole Juan cheating affair scandal.
That's why Robin hates Wendy, because she said the truth, and that almost jeopardized her job.
Yes,
and her world. She
Yep.
saw her world almost come crashing down, because that the house of cards that she's been relying on, Wendy would just literally called it out to a T.
And my whole thing is, Wendy, they don't like you. They side themselves with Mia of all people.
They don't even like Mia. They're the ones who are like literally jeopardized. Mia's a pawn to them.
Yes, because they
more.
see Mia as, okay, look, Mia's friends with Karen, so we use Mia to go after Karen. We can go after Wendy, and then they see Jacqueline. They're like, you know what? We can flip the script and have Mia and Jacqueline go at it.
Yeah, we can't have Mia getting too powerful, so we got to break her support too.
True. And then you got Ashley and Candace, who are like,
where'd Jacob go?
I don't know.
He dropped off.
Oh,
but I think. But go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go.
No, I had nothing. No, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
But it's like Giselle and Robin are playing this weird game of chess. And like they can never get they got the checkmate with Monique. They can't get it with Wendy, Karen, and Candace.
Well, you know what it is? I think the reason why they can't do it with them anymore is because once you run the same scheme a couple of times, people are onto it. That's why people don't hit up the same bank to do the same scheme, or the same person to do the same scheme. Because once you do the same scheme, people get onto it. And also, I think it's harder to scheme people that you were doing the scheme with. Like,
right.
Wendy got a little bit of karma, to be honest.
Candace was like, I was at one of these meetings.
Yeah, Candace was. Candace was the one who got on her Instagram Live and told about all of the meetings. So once you realize, hey, I was doing this scam with you, and then the people you're scamming with start doing the scam on you, of course you're going to not fall for it, because you're like, wait a minute, I was doing the same scam with you. That's why Candace got up and said, no, we're not doing this, breaking the fourth wall. If we want a target, it's not going to be my husband. Let's do Marco Darby. I know what's going on. Eric, you know what's going on, because she already knew. They get together, they make their target, they create their lies, and then they systematically go after the people.
That's why I thought that was particularly conniving of Ashley.
Yes.
Because she knew this going into the season. So when she walked in that house and pretended to be friends, this was already in the works.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Think about it. It's Ashley.
Ashley is just as evil as they are.
Yes.
She really is. She's a desperate person too. That seems that's dangerous to
her with her corona in her hand.
Yikes.
Being well, me and Michael are having this so-called divorce. So if allegedly, so if I decide to be friends with Candace, then I can use whatever Candace says. And of course, they're talking about Karen. She's gonna be like, well, if I tell Karen this, Karen's not gonna be friends with Candace, and Candace is only gonna be friends with Wendy. But then at the same time, we can do triple damage and go after Eddie again, Chris, and now Ray.
You know what it is?
It's
like with Candace and Ashley and stuff, because when you don't have a particularly vindictive mindset, like your mind just doesn't work like that, like you'll get mad and you're not gonna like let someone walk over you, but you don't like think like in that conniving way like Ashley does. You genuinely feel like you look at someone, because I'm slowly getting out of this mindset myself, but you look at someone, you're like, oh, I can just make them like see the light and be like, hey, no, like we could really be fun and be friends together. Like, what? Come on, like let's not do this. But Ashley and you were not built the same way. She's never going to see the light. This is who she is. And you need to let go of the fantasy that she could be a friend or anything like that.
And I think that's what is annoying me with both Candace and Ashley is that Giselle is fine. No, not Giselle. Candace is fine. No.
Mm-hmm.
Karen. Karen is fine with not being friends with Robin and Giselle. She said this from day one.
Well, this is the thing with that. I think Giselle, Robin, and Karen have always had an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that their understanding has always been we're the OGs and, they have a foundational friendship. They really have known each other. Even though they'll go at it, I think that they've always had an understanding. And I think the fact that Robin kind of went below the belt at Karen, like it was no longer that sort of like, oh, clink, clink, your hot box. When Robin really got evil and really was just going after Karen, I think she kind of went outside of the box of that understanding that they had. And I think that's why Karen felt so betrayed and so hurt. Because I think a lot of the back and forth between Karen and Robin and Giselle is a little bit not staged, but it's kind of like a little wink and a nudge. Like they know what they're doing. They understand the assignment. But Robin took it too far. And then that's when Karen was like, well, you went against what we had going on. Well, I'm about to tell on you. And that's why she brought up the blonde woman in Georgetown.
That's a Taurus for you right there.
All of that stuff.
We'll take a lot.
They'll take a lot, but I think that they always sort of had this sort of like mutual still understanding that they're on the show. They're kind of playing the game, stuff like that. But Robin took it a little bit too far. That's why I think happened with them. Ashley, I think, is just out for self. And she will float and she will attach herself to whoever, whenever that best serves her agenda. Like, do I think she actually cared about Wendy? And with the Mia fight, no. But I think Ashley understood the optics, and she did not want to be on the wrong side of it.
True.
So I think she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wendy,"
because she's like, "I'm not okay with violence." Because she knew deep down that no one was going to be okay.
Exactly. She understood the optics of the situation. Now, the reason why, just like we were saying, Giselle and Robin have been able to sort of, systematically attack people and, pit people against each other, like Monique and Candace and all of that stuff, is like at first, and especially I think when you're in it, you don't see it necessarily. Like that's what makes a puppet master. You don't see the strings. So you don't really see it going on. I think once you take a step back, and us as viewers, we can see it because we're seeing everybody's perspective. We're hearing all of the conversations. We're getting everything on social media. We're getting the footage and that stuff. But I think if you're actually in it, sometimes it's hard to see that you're being manipulated. It's hard to see that you're being used.
You don't have the bird's eye view.
You don't have the bird's eye view of everything that's going on. And that's why I think it takes a couple of seasons for people to be like, oh, Giselle is actually the one who's starting all of this stuff. Robin is actually the one who's starting all of this stuff. You know what I mean? It takes a couple of seasons for the cast to catch up.
I do, and I agree with that. And I could see that with how Wendy first came on. She was like the new one in the group. I don't know how she knows Candace. I'm still confused about that part. But it's like Wendy later found out in season 7. Yeah, this is how Giselle acts, and
not
she
for
learned.
Nothing went. What's her face? Monique was right. She warned Wendy.
She did warn Wendy.
Yeah, she said they're gonna come after you next, 100%. And I agree with what Melissa said. When Robin did that stupid crap at the table with the phone, I thought that was uncalled for. Robin was looking for a moment. She literally went out and bought a speakerphone to have the moment at the table, to stream Candace's Instagram live. Girl,
Karen was making me laugh. She's like, Robin's gone tech.
Yeah.
She's got her phone out. She's bringing speakers.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you guys watch Married to Medicine? In this last season, when what's her name? Heavenly's friend of the show. I forgot what her name is. To me, she's horrible. I don't want her to be on my screen ever again. I don't like looking at her. I don't like her energy.
Did her name start with an A?
what was her name? Audria, when she came to Quad's housewarming party and she was looking for the moment and she had the printout, or no, she had the calculator. She had the calculator and was trying to calculate what's her name? Toya's the money that Toya got from flipping her house. And she was it did not land. Everybody, I mean, literally everybody was just like, you look like a hot mess. You look absolutely crazy. You look
like you're bringing actual props. You're weirdo.
I thought that was Jackie's housewarming. No,
it was Quad's. Because then remember, Toya was about to fight. Toya and her friend was about to fight Anila and her friend, and everyone was like, "Not at Quad's house, not at Quad's house." It was at Quad's house, not Becky or Simone's. It was at Quad's. Because remember, the only storyline Quad had was she kept trying to lie and say she bought the house by herself when we all know it was probably somebody else's money. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that was her storyline. It was at Quad's housewarming party. It was over the holidays. Girl, bye.
And I cannot believe they got Phaedra coming back to marry the medicine.
I heard she's not even with that guy anymore.
Or if she ever was, maybe she was pulling a Kenna and like buy a boyfriend situation. Because the funny part is, usually when these women really go after somebody in a really sore spot, karma always comes back and they find themselves in that same exact situation that they were dogging the other woman about.
Right? It's just almost like Shakespearean almost. Yeah. Like literally happens every single time.
It is like Shakespeare. And I would say this, Monique was right in every way saying that they were going after Wendy. Because once they went after Monique and got her off the show, they saw Wendy as, okay, we can still use Candace for somewhat of our purposes. Wendy is too smart for her own good. Out of all of them in the group, Wendy can actually read them down to filth, but with a little bit more class than Candace. But it's also like Wendy talks about how she has her 4 degrees. She has a business. She's actually making money. Giselle and Robin really didn't have nothing going on at that moment. So of course they're jealous of her.
They're definitely jealous of her. And I think what it is that I think Giselle and Robin behind the scenes probably do have a lot going on. It's always like the ones who deflect the most actually have the most to hide. Like what we just found out. Robin was sitting on the biggest storyline ever. You know, the allegations of this woman against Juan and his friends, the whole cheating situation that
she had the juiciest stories ever.
One of the juiciest storylines ever. You know, that's actually like legit. And she didn't say anything. She sat on it. And instead she attacked. So I think what these women do is they sit around and instead of saying, you're not going to shine a light into what's happening in my house, I'm not going to get my side of the street clean, I'm just going to deflect and deflect and deflect and deflect.
Yes.
That's really what it is. And they are jealous. You know, they are jealous of the Wendys and the Moniques and the Karens of the world. I don't think they're jealous of Ashley. Yeah, they're jealous of Candace because Candace is a beautiful girl. She's actually very talented. And I think that emotionally she's maturing, which is great. But I think the real reason why they're jealous of Candace is because, you know, husbander or not, Chris Bassett really loves her.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key of what they're really jealous of Candace about. That's why Giselle keeps saying, oh, his brown peen, his brown whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, he's riding the coattails, he's cooking, blah, blah. Giselle, you wish you had a man who cared enough about you to
cook for you,
to invest his time and money and energy into making your lifelong dreams come true. Chris is actually a very loving and supportive and great husband.
Yes, and I think what she's really jealous is the fact that Candace marries a man of the land, a man who's white, who apparently has a brown dick.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous at this point.
It's ridiculous, you know? So I agree. I think it really boils down to that. And I think that's another big reason why, even though I think Robin and Giselle and Karen not an alliance, not in the sense of like a full Fox 5, but I do think that they had an understanding. It was like a kind of a wink and a kind of a nudge. You know what I mean?
Like a showbiz understanding.
Exactly. Like a handshake, like, oh, like we're about to clock in. Okay, let's clock in, you know? Like
Exactly.
they understood the assignment. I don't think that there was any true bad blood between them until they took it too far.
I think Robin low-key was somewhat harboring some kind of resentment toward Karen, though. Because I feel like, I don't know, because if that really happened with Juan like hugging her or being inappropriate, I'm sure that probably bothered Robin. And not to mention, Karen's been low-key like calling them out since the jump. She's always the one to ask, how's Juan? Because she's kind of probably like, listen, we're all working and you're not. So we're going to need you to at least try. Like, if you're going to lie about this, then we're going to need you to lie, but you're going to have to say something about it.
Yes.
See, this is what I think it is. I think Karen was right when she said that Robin has misplaced anger. I think that Robin is placing her anger on Karen, placing her anger on Wendy, because she can't live in her truth and place her anger on herself for getting herself in a situation and on Juan. So I think that she feels it's safe to be like, sometimes we lash out at the people that we know is safe to lash out on, even though they haven't done anything to us, because it's like a safe person to lash out on, you know?
Yeah, we know they're not going to do too much.
We know they're not going to do too much. We know they're still going to be there, and we lash out on them, and it's not fair, but it's sometimes a coping mechanism that we have.
So
as human beings. And I think that's kind of the situation between Robin and Karen, because I don't think Karen or Robin actually thought Juan was sexually checking for Karen. I don't think so. I think Karen was just saying that to goat Robin. I think Juan was just wasted, said something inappropriate. And I think it was just alcohol. I don't think Juan actually was trying to like get it in with Karen. Come on.
I definitely think she probably was uncomfortable, but I don't think it was like taken seriously. I think it was just a drunken, inappropriate moment.
100%. 100%.
I agree with you.
And Karen knows that. She just wanted to goat Robin because she was pissed at her. She was pissed. So she was trying to get her back.
I mean, and I agree with you all on that. Yeah. I mean, we saw Gordon when he was drunk,
licking the lips and doing all of that stuff. Yeah. But you're kind of like, Gordon, go sit down and have a cracker. Shut up. You know what I mean?
Yes. So like Juan could have said something inappropriate and Karen took offense to it. Yeah. And I get it. You know, Robin is bringing Cerise back into the group.
Yeah.
And if Robin knows that Karen and Cerise, not Cerise. If Cerise and Karen don't get along with each other, why are you trying to force them into group settings together?
For deflection. Again, they're what they're doing is they're going to say, instead of looking at my finances, instead of looking at my non-relationships, instead of looking at all of the allegations against me and all of the allegations against my person or whatever, let's focus on Karen versus Charisse. Let's focus on, going after Wendy. Let's focus on, Candace and Chris, all that stuff. It's all just deflection. That's why it doesn't logically make sense, because they're making it up. And that's why it's so hypocritical.
Because it's not real.
And that's why it's so hypocritical, is because they are constructing this conflict when they do the same thing themselves, if not worse. Robin, why do you care if Karen doesn't invite Charisse somewhere? You uninvite Wendy every single day. You do the same exact thing. That's why none of it makes sense, and that's why it's so hypocritical, because it's not real. It's manufactured to deflect on what they really got going on.
True, and that's my thing. She disinvited Wendy from the family thing and then wanted Candace to go pick up someone else's kids. That's not hers.
Absolutely not. This is the thing. I'm not a mother. I don't have children, but I do have nieces and nephews. And if you ever in this world disinvited the mother of my nieces and nephews to something, and then you had the audacity to say somebody else could bring them to the place you're at, you lost the plot. You've
Yes.
lost the plot. Who in their right mind would send their children somewhere to be overseen by a person who actively hates the mother?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not a mother.
Have
and I
you
would
lost the plot? I
never.
wouldn't do that even if I trusted the person. I'm not just sending my nieces and nephews off.
And how, like,
If
that
I'm
would-
not there, they're not
and
there.
besides
Point
that
blank,
being
period.
just like crazy, but that would make Wendy look so crazy herself.
So bad. It
Well,
would
I'm
look
okay.
so
I'm gonna send my
bad.
kids because God, they need to be a part of Robin's special day because Robin's the most powerful, and any peanuts that she throws at us, we'll take. You know, no.
And see, that's why I'm. It's like, Wendy, you do great by saying you're standing up to Robin, saying no, you didn't invite me out to your family thing. You're telling me to fight Mia or to shut the hell down, shut the fuck up and sit down. And
Shut
then,
the F up. Let's watch out. I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
so you're telling her just shut up, or like either shut it and sit down or fight.
Uh-huh.
It's like, Wendy, you're standing up for yourself, and then at the same time, you're going back and trying to kiss their behinds to get them to forgive you, when honestly, they're all happy with you trying to get yourself back into the group, kicking you back out of the group again. To them, it's amusement.
Yeah, it's a game. That's why everybody is all up in arms now that they've been lying and plotting on the show when they've actually had the biggest storyline ever. Which is another reason why when Beverly Hills comes back, they better address the Mauricio and Dorit rumors, because there's no way you're sitting on the juiciest storyline and you don't address it on the show.
No, they need to address that.
They have to address it. And it can't just been a flip on the reunion. Oh, yeah, it's so crazy, crazy rumor. No, I want it addressed. I want to watch Dorit deny sleeping with Mauricio. I want to watch Mauricio deny sleeping with Dorit in front of PK and in front of Kyle and on the camera. I want to see them. I want to see the body language. I want to read the energy. I want it all. I want a reckoning. Because you can't have these juicy storylines and then sit on them and then expect us to then sit there and believe whatever you're forcing down my throat to be the truth.
True.
That is the juiciest storyline.
And for this Potomac reunion, I want them to address Robin lying about the fact that about this affair that never happened, that she said never happened, but then confirmed it happening. You actually had a real storyline. Your fake marriage that no one really cared about.
And Giselle has lied countless times. She said she's never heard of that. And then on that Patreon, she was like, yeah, I heard of it. I didn't say anything because I'm her friend. So you're admitting on the show that you make up stories and you go around. You're admitting outside the show that you're a liar. Like, you got to go. We don't believe your narrative. We don't believe you are, what's it called? God, I can't even think of the words. An unreliable
source.
Yeah. Like, you literally nothing. Like, it's like, why you're even talking, no one with the right mind should ever believe you. Like, so, like, why are you here? If you're not even a believable person at this point, why are you on a reality show?
And also, it's like, she only told the truth because she was forced to. Because that TikToker Giorgio says was dropping their receipts from that woman. So it's not even like she was ever going to tell the truth. She was going to ride on with the lie. And quiet as it's kept, again, they're so stupid with it. If I was Robin and I was dumb enough to lie, I would have just kept the lie. I would have never addressed it. They put the nail in their own coffin by getting on their tired podcast that nobody listens to and talking about it, thinking again, it's that sociopath where you think you're the smartest person in the room. You think you can talk your way out of everything. But they actually made things 100 times worse for themselves. 100 times worse. Because if they had not done that podcast, Robin still could have had plausible deniability. I don't know what this woman's talking about. Whatever, she's crazy. Or just don't say anything and wait till something else pops up and we forget about it. Because at the end of the day, I don't think any of us actually care that Juan is sleeping with other women, because nobody actually believes they're in a real relationship anyway. It would have passed over. But again, it's that personality where you think that you will always have favor, you will always have cover, and you can talk yourself out of anything. But they really put the nail in their own coffins.
Because I would have more respect for Robin if she would have been like, you know what, fine, yes, he did. He cheated. He cheated with a blonde woman that I'm not saying this, Karen. I think Karen made it too juicy by saying that she looks exactly like me.
Karen was just trying to goad her. Karen, at that point, Karen was pissed, and she was just trying to goad her. Thank you so much, Looking for Drama.
Yeah, definitely.
Sticker. It says Fire Juan's roommate Kenya was punished. That's another really good point. You know, Juan and Robin allegedly got married off camera. So they punished Kenya for that. Shouldn't they punish them for that? We're going to see like their footage, not actual like Bravo footage on the season finale, but it wasn't actually a part of the show. Like they didn't put it on the show. So they should be penalized for that. And they also should be penalized for this lie. Like I would have respected Robin so much more if season 1, she just came in and said, you know what? I really tried to make it work with my ex-husband, the father of my kids. It's not working out. And I'm now going to embark on this journey of healing myself, find out who I am, and I'm going to start dating. And then we followed Robin's life as a young single mom, co-parenting, blah, 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 and see what happened there. I think she would have been a much more happier person. Because, yes, I think Robin is evil, but I think she's really evil because she's really miserable.
True.
She's very miserable because how lonely and how soul-sucking must it be to live a lie day in and day out? And not only lie to us, but lie to your own children. And Robin also plays the victim. Word on the street is that Robin was the one who cheated on Juan first. With the guy who swindled their money and unfortunately, you know, is no longer with us. But yet, the way she tells it, you would think Juan was out here, you know, going from one woman to another woman and this, that, and the third, and woe is me, and she was just at home, you know, sad, mommy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, she manipulates our societal defaults where we always think the man's the cheater and it's the long-suffering wife.
She's not really a person to ever admit that she's wrong. And so she will always be the perpetual victim. And she'll say it with her chest, knowing full well that it's not true and the part that she's played. Like the conviction that she had when she was accusing Karen, knowing that she was concealing all this, saying your lies will be shown one of these days. You know what I mean? Like those words came out of her mouth. And the look in her eyes, she looked like she was dead serious. That's what's scary to me.
She's a very scary person. She's also very violent.
Yeah, she is violent.
Verbally violent, and she's physically violent. The way she approaches people's space. She's a very violent person.
Right. She doesn't if she's held to the fire, she's known to resort to physicality.
She acts like a rabid raccoon.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it with Ashley. She straight up went and got into Ashley's face at Ashley's restaurant. She tried to freaking fight Monique with an umbrella.
Yeah, she did.
True.
So it's like, she's the most violent, she's the most anger-prone person. Yet, no one addresses her that she needs to go to anger management classes. No one says, okay, look, because you want to get almost physical with people, we're demoting you down to a friend of Giselle's.
That's another thing. I understand the degree of the violence was a little more in the Monique case, but how they paraded around saying, I don't teach my girls violence. And then meanwhile, cut to Giselle literally co-signing anything violent that Mia would do or Robin would do. And even on that Patreon podcast saying, catch me outside and saying stuff like that. Like, girl, you stood there like you were literally on the pulpit preaching against violence and went ahead and had one of Juan's goons follow you around pretending he was security. Like, stop.
Oh, yes. Robin did also go after Wendy. I did forget to say that. But it's like, and the whole them talking about how we don't talk about violence. You don't condone violence. Yet violence happens to Wendy. Y'all are so excited to see Wendy almost fight and get fired from her job.
That's why I was like, I think Ashley was even pissed at that moment because they had Charisse kind of like go like, oh, you were okay with Monique, blah, 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 but now you're siding with Wendy because you're saying you don't like violence. And even Ashley was like, whoa, the nerve of you to even say anything about me, regardless if it's right or wrong, considering you literally parade around saying how you hate violence. And now you're literally acting like it's perfectly okay right now. Is absurd.
It's ridiculous.
It is absurd.
And it goes down to what I always said. It's the hypocrisy literally just based on who they like more or who they like less in the moment. Robin said it in the confessional. She just says, I don't like Wendy. And that's the only reason why she was on Mia's side.
True.
She said
that's not an adult thing to say to me.
It's disgusting. It's a very mean thing to say.
It's like a child. It's
So
something
your
that like
morals
two
depend
children
on who's your ally at the time or who's co-signing your own BS. Yeah.
True.
Got it.
And like this is how I do feel about it. I think at the point of the time, the reason why Ashley sided with Monique at that point was because she wasn't in good standing with Candace.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she's gonna side with Monique. She didn't see the violence, but she has seen where. I'm just saying this now. Ashley had still not let go of the butter knife incident.
And also, Ashley really appreciated Monique's discretion when it came to pretending that her basement cameras weren't working.
100%. You scratched my back, I scratched yours. And that's why that's why Ashley wrote the letter on behalf of Monique against Candace. 100%. Yeah. And also, Ashley is still being an agent of Monique because remember when Ashley said at BravoCon that Monique and her husband were separated? And then it also came out on People magazine. But then Monique and Chris did a live on YouTube being like, we're together. Don't read anything. Leave Ashley alone. That's my girl. I don't think that Monique.
Yeah, what was that?
This is the thing. I don't think Ashley would have said anything about Monique unless Monique co-signed it. I think it was two things. I think one, it was them trying to get a storyline for the second season of Love and Marriage DC. I really think it was them trying to get their storyline together. And I do think it was Ashley working on Monique's behalf because I don't think Ashley would have said anything against Monique without her knowledge. And if she did, I don't think Monique would have stood for it. Monique's not that girl. You're not going to speak on Monique's marriage as her quote friend against it and have her co-sign it unless she told you to.
And it's weird though, because what's weird to me though, I can't remember the timeline. So when Monique vouched for Ashley that the cameras were off, was that before or after Ashley tried to insinuate that she was DUIing? Because that was kind of messed up of Ashley. Remember that?
I don't know when that was. Probably.
Because I get, and I'm totally on board with what you're saying, but I feel like that detail was very weird and that kind of throws a curveball.
It was before.
Oh, it was?
It was before.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Because the party that they were at, wasn't it like the rainbow party for the baby that they lost?
So all of where the cameras were?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that must have been before. Yeah.
You know what? That was before.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ashley, that's where her loyalty lies because it's like a mutual, like you said, they scratch your back, I scratch yours kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a mutually insured destruction. You know, all of a sudden I might find that tape, you know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
The tape is gone. But I also find it strange that Monique was somewhat trying to stand up for Wendy, talking about, I told you this was going to happen. I don't agree with what they did to Wendy.
Right.
It's like Wendy had a part in you getting off the show as well. Wendy was siding with the Green Eyed Bandits.
Yep.
I know. And it's so funny because like when Monique said that to her, she's like, they're going to come for your family. They're going to come for your husband. You were next. Absolutely. And Wendy just stood there and didn't say anything. And it's just crazy how that all came to be.
Sure.
And yeah, it's like, it's almost like, I don't think Monique really blamed Wendy at that point. She understood that Wendy was new and she was trying to fit in. And considering she was friends with Candace and she didn't know anybody. So it's like, of course she's going to take that stance. Plus she's like on TV and stuff and she's like going against her friend and siding with someone she doesn't know who was violent on TV. That won't look good. Like, I think Monique had enough sense to understand Wendy's position.
True. And I also think when Wendy was talking to Monique, you know, Wendy always stated the fact of, you know, they always talk about how Black women are violent. They're aggressive. So Wendy was like trying to put herself above that and put themselves above that because, you know, with Atlanta housewives, they've been getting ready to throw down in the ATL. So Wendy's like, let us be as Potomac people. We're all shades of brown. Let us put ourselves on a higher standard with nonviolence. And when Monique did that, it was like that was what Wendy's final straw was with her. Yes, she was friends with that.
No. I'm sorry. I have to totally disagree with that.
Sorry.
I think I think that they used the whole we as Black women can't be violent on TV because we represent blah, 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 just as another way to get at Monique. Because at the end of the day, all of them are just as violent. They may not have slipped up and like made contact or anything like that, but they're all just like that.
I mean,
I think it was just their way of getting at them. I think when it comes to Wendy and Monique, I think Wendy was not at the powwow they had when they were all getting together to go against Monique. So I think Wendy may have been a little bit more naive to just how much manipulation and lies and conniving
she was
going
only
on.
working with what the information that was in front of her.
I think she went in with like actually believing them, like a goodwill, being, like almost like a gullibility to her, like a naivety, and they used that to their advantage.
And I think Monique knew that.
Yeah,
and I think Monique got that bird's eye view that we were talking about after going through it and then being able to look at everything from a different perspective. That's why I think she was like, hey, Wendy, they're going to come after you next because I see how they just came after me. So I think she got that perspective after it all. But I'm so tired of them using the Black woman, blah, 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 blah. First of all, as a Black woman, none of them are my personal representation. We are a monolithic. You are just a bunch of women who are on a reality show. The same way there's a bunch of women on Beverly Hills, when they're over there fussing and fighting and being just as violent as anybody else, nobody says that's a representation on all white women in the world.
Yeah, no.
I'm so tired of these white women fighting and being violent. We're not going to stand for that in our white community. No.
Can you imagine?
Could you imagine? They never say that. So I think it's time for us to be allowed to be human beings.
I agree with you.
When one person does something, that's not a statement on our entire gender and race. That's just what one person chose to do. You know,
I mean, that's literally how I view it, but I understand that that's not everyone's experience.
True. I mean,
like I'm not naive to that, but that's literally, I just view I judge every human as a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm judging you by what you're doing and the vibe I feel from you. And that's it. And I'll go against a white woman, a purple, a green, anyone. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and I probably have something to say about it.
Yeah.
I'm with you all on that.
Yeah.
And I don't agree. When Wendy said it, I didn't agree with it. I'm like, well, we see everyone else getting in the fights with that. But why is it? And I get like
when Robin had the umbrella about to choke Wendy out, about to choke what's her face out, Monique out, or whoever she was trying to choke out, was Wendy like, Robin, that is not the representation we want to have about Black women in Potomac. No, nobody said anything about that. When Giselle and Robin went up to go fight Ashley at the Australian restaurant, nobody said that.
Ashley wasn't like, you're really embarrassing.
What?
I'm a Black business owner.
And this is horrible, not at my place. No, nobody said that.
No one said that.
They wanted to use that to weaponize it against Monique.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's just like people weaponize, like just like Lisa tried to weaponize like trigger words like homophobia and all that against
Kathy and everybody.
They use these trigger words at their disposal, like when they at their benefit.
Yeah. Like how, and then how like Wendy said at the season 6 Potomac reunion, how she's like, people use certain buzzwords.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
that's
like,
what I mean by trigger words. Yeah, it's like
trigger buzzword. But I do believe that Wendy wasn't at the meeting, so Wendy could have been like, you know what? I'm new here. I'm getting friendly with Robin and Giselle and Ashley. I'm already friends with Candace. Me and Karen are going back and forth, and I don't really know Monique. So yeah, she took their side on it.
Yeah, I mean, like her position and like her actual job, like being on TV, like it would have looked. I can't even see a situation where she would have ever even sided with Monique, just because the sheer optics of her job, who she came in knowing, just everything. You know what I mean? It just makes logical sense to me, and I don't really blame her for it, and I don't think Monique does either.
I don't think Monique does either. Yeah.
Monique doesn't hold it against her. I think Monique was like, okay, I get it, because, it was the same way with Monique and the same way with Candace. They always follow the Green-Eyed Bandits until they're on the outs. So she saw Wendy about to become on the outs next and was like, okay, look, they use me to get at somebody else. They're going to do the same thing to you. They're going to come after you. And sure enough, Mia came into the picture.
I remember last year they tried to get Mia to target Candace a little bit too.
Yeah, she did. Last season 6.
Because Mia didn't know anything about the long-standing kind of like joke about Chris, and she like knew exactly what to say to her Candace's mom. You know what I mean? Clearly, she had been cued in.
True, and by Giselle and Robin.
Yes, this has been so much fun, you guys. I'm gonna have to go to the gym now. Well, not the gym. I'm gonna go for a walk.
I know. I have to go too.
I gotta go figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner.
Yes, this has been so much fun. I appreciate you guys so much.
All right, thanks for having us again.
Yes, thanks for coming up. I appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, no problem.
That's right, you guys. We have had so much fun. We've had a great kiki. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. We have our newsletter. Be sure to join that. You get a free self-love guide. And also check out all of our self-love and wellness courses as well. With that, you guys, I love you, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go.